Thank you very much, Kalari. And what's this camera? Nice. What is up, everybody? I'm No Luck Skiven, and today we are once again playing in a Once Upon a Galaxy tournament, and we've got 3 attempts. So without further ado, let's get it started. A top 5 finish is required on round 1. Should be fairly easy. I don't think I'm going to play Hecate. We could, but I don't think I love it. Let's do a reroll. And, I mean, I think that Luna Girl is the best captain here. But is it the best captain to get 5th place? Maybe. Maybe it still is. Yeah. I'll go for it. It's still easy mode. Not going to worry about changing around the deck list here for round 1. We will just hop into it. Oh, I think I got a sneeze. I don't have to sneeze. How do I sound? More importantly, when I mute, can you still hear me? I'm going to mute. Probably good. You probably don't want to hear me when I'm muted, because that would mean you'd hear me sounding strangely right now. But, yeah, seems like everything is as it should be for the time being. And we're just going to pick up a bunch of animals. That probably sets us up decently well. I'm going to keep trying to hunt and grow this first slot. Nice. Thank you, Amber. And we could have taken... Ooh, Sleeping Giant is also kind of a cool one, isn't it? Yeah, maybe I go Sleeping Giant to try to grow Astro. I think that that's good. Otherwise, when are we playing Sleeping Giant, right? Yeah, we just started it up just now, so you haven't missed anything just yet. Cowardly Lion, speaking of it getting started, well, we started the Cowardly Lion, yeah, okay, speaking of getting started, I suppose that is fair. I'll just cycle through a Flying Monkey, but I will pick up an Itsy Bitsy Spider. I mean, I do have to consider the Scrub Fowl, which wouldn't quite turn on the pup, right? It activates at 20. Yeah, we're still a decent amount to go. We could also go Foul Lich. We have so many animals, but I'm just going to keep rolling. But I will Big Teeth onto the Wonder Pup. I think that that's solid. Now I could Silvery Moon onto the Wonder Pup. Maybe that is just worth it. I don't think I want to pump up the Sleeping Giant. Plushy Kells. Hello. We are getting started here with some Once Upon a Galaxy, and then after we are done playing around in this game, we might play some Demon Bluff. I think we probably will, especially if some people show up looking for some Demon Bluff. I guess I'll just go for an attack on him. This is kind of not great. We could go for heal. It's a significant upgrade on the board, but I don't know that I really care that much. Let's just play this card, and then Goodie Bag. Sarmina is actually a lot of fun. Maybe we go Sarmina, and we cut the Sleeping Giant at this point. Okay. I'm down to try this. And then Ace of Hearts is a little freebie, so we'll cycle through that. Presence of Gaia could actually mean that we activate Astro the Wonder Pup this turn. I think it's worth it. If Astro's able to hunt, it'll get +8/+8 from Sarmina. Oh, I thought this card was +3/+3. It must have gotten buffed at some point. But either way, Astro will complete it. If we can attack here, that's beautiful because now it will get to stick around. And we are taking a full heart of damage. I'm maybe playing this a little bit fast and loose, but now Astro has ranged or play KO'd. Play KO'd is absolutely insane, so we'll definitely grab that here. And then probably just throw in a baby bear. That gets my ship in top shape. Oh, we have Golden Astro here too. We also have Mama Bear and Cowardly Lion, but I'll just take the free treasure. And Luckier Chest, Galactic Rock, or Buried Treasure. I think we can go Galactic Rock now that we have a 60-30 Astro Pup, and it's going to get triple of... It's going to get +12/+12 at least each turn. I think that we can start to find some other fun things to play with that. Ship is in top shape. Astro goes down, but then resummons itself. That's right. So it is back and won't be able to hunt again, but will at least win us this fight. So now I can sick him for hunt +6/+6. Yeah, that sounds good to me. We might cut Cowardly Lion at this point. Honestly, all of these are fine. What do we want, though? I'll just take a Bronze Goose for now. That way I can keep playing a board full of animals. I think that that seems good. And I'm just going to cycle through this one for now here, too. Okay, but Astro is definitely going to be winning these fights for a considerable amount of time. And that should find us another interesting avenue to victory. But Astro is now nearly at 100. We grab our first Galactic Rock. We also grab a Skeleton Key from the Galactic Rock. So now we get to grab 2 of these treasures. Okay. I'm not really summoning. Oh, I am summoning. This is a summon. Do I need Mask of Infinite Rage then? This is really good if we find the Boon Willow again. I think I'll just go for like... Yeah. This is kind of like a hedge in terms of grabbing a decent amount of stats, but also some scaling too. I mean, they were all really just stat treasures there. So it wasn't an incredibly exciting pickup. I want to keep playing the Cowardly Lion because it's so close, but it probably never gets there. And then I probably also want to start playing some number of these. Maybe I go Maverick first, because I've got some treasures nearing completion, and yeah, this is growing by a crazy amount, but will that be enough to win us this fight? Yes, it will be. Cool. And we grab the bonus from the Santa's cookies, so that's good. We're going to throw in Jasmine Dragon here over the Bronze Goose, and then I can make everything silver. Or I can Sun Flary. That's not that good. Yeah, I'll just make everything silver. I forget exactly if there was something I was going to say, but can't be that relevant. Astro keeps trading, which is like the perfect thing that we could ask for. It means that we're still getting scaling. We get the bonus shop there from Jasmine Dragon, which is nice. And I think we have to cut the Cowardly Lion at this point. This gives us a True Love's Kiss target. So, yeah, it's definitely relevant. Mama Bear is fine. It gives Astro +6/+6 each turn. Cheshire Cat gives it +18/+18 each turn. I don't really want to cut any of my cards currently on the board, though, so I'm just going to cycle through Mop, pick up a Bronze Goose, which completes Maverick and Icewing. And you actually can't replace Maverick and Icewing, right? Because you need this on the board when you take the treasure. But we'll take a Boots of Magic Find. That could... Oh, you know what? We've probably already won, come to think of it, right? This lobby's probably already over. Yeah, we're in the top 4. Okay, so what I am going to do in case we need to play multiple rounds is I'm going to be conceding as soon as I hit top 4 or whatever the requisite is for each round. So On to the next one here, and we could Chucky or Nathaniel Drake. Definitely not going old Mac. I suppose I probably have Miseria on Nathaniel Drake, at which point we'll play it. Yeah. Okay, looks good. Grab an Itsy Bitsy Spoiler, and of course we're going to grab any questing characters that we find so that we can use our Captain Power. And no villains here yet. Let's... Nesting Scrubfowl, because it could pump up a potential... the puppy, the Lancelot. So I think that this is correct. And it looks like we are doing just fine. Can't wait for Demon Bluff. Yes, that will be after this. We'll definitely... We'll play at least a round or two of deck building mode, I think. And we could see what we're feeling after that, for sure. I'll go Cowardly Lion here. I don't love it, but it's something. Ooh, and then the Huntsman. Well, that is certainly something. Okay. I still don't feel like I'm incredibly strong for this turn. Thank you, Amber. I appreciate your support. And, yeah, for everybody hanging out, whatever game you're here for. But definitely let me know. Because, like, if people are here for Demon Bluff, then I am not going to disappoint, for sure. Let's cycle through Pan's Shadow here, I think. But, yeah. No, that's fine. That's all I wanted to say, really. Now we've got some wands, but also Padded Shield. Ooh, which of these is best early? I think it's got to be Padded Shield, even though these are significantly better. Oh, Amber, you're here for the Once Upon a Galaxy. Nice. Okay, I didn't realize that that you played that, because I recognize your name, I think from... I thought from commenting on Demon Bluff stuff. But maybe both. Maybe you've commented on both of my videos, so... Glad I can oblige. Once Upon a Galaxy is probably the game I spend the most time playing right now, just because it is a mobile game, so it's pretty easy to continue to do so. We're about to grab... Well, actually, we're maybe not about to grab the Huntsman treasure doesn't get pumped up. And the Miseria treasure is insane, but we might not be close to grabbing it because we're so strong. The Heartseeker bow could be really good. Oh, it is really good with the Huntsman because it pumps up my entire front row. Oh, yes. Okay, Achilles is also crazy good here. Sure, and it's kind of good with Cowardly Lion too, really. And then I'm going to cycle through a Toto. By cycle through, I mean actually play a Toto. Come to think of it, we grab the Huntsman's Axe, so that's going to give my entire front line plus 9/2, which probably means I am never going to lose. And so we are never actually going to grab the Constellation Prize, but watch this. Actually, before I pick this up, I'm going to move Puck to right here, and then wha-bam. Everybody gets a whole bunch of stats. That's really, really great. We don't need Puck anymore, for sure. What do we need at this point? Kind of nothing. I'll just cycle through Boon Willow for the stats. Oh, and then, yeah, we're pumping up an Achilles. Oh, Achilles is actually great. I've never used Achilles plus Huntsman's Axe, but all of my frontline characters have Hunt plus 4/2 on everybody. Well, these two characters have that at least. That is still really good. And then, of course, Achilles has it at all. Oh, yeah, I didn't think that you'd commented on any Galaxy. That's why I was surprised to hear you say that. I saw your name and I was like, oh, okay, you're here for some demon bluffing as well. Do we need to over the rainbow? Not really. Oh, this is +2/+1. That's probably good enough. Yeah, I'll just cut Toto. Crystal? How close are we to Crystal? I mean, should probably take it. Oh, all of my cards are actually kind of big. Well, this always has Hunt, but all of my cards are kind of big because Achilles is giving everybody +4/+2 each turn. I'll just take a crystal. This is fine. I'm not close to activating it, but like maybe I am if we lose it. The thing is, I don't think we're losing a fight. I think we're going to keep this board until top 4, but that's fine. Yes. For sure. And yeah, I really like Blood on the Clock Tower as well. I think that that is possibly my favorite game, though it's tough to tell. Ray the Man, unfortunately, can't stick around. Bummer. Well, you can catch the VOD. It'll be available on YouTube and on Twitch, so I think my Twitch VODs are saved, but you can always watch it later. Oh, I just noticed that everybody so far, except for Kalari, has commented on YouTube. We've got only YouTube viewers here. Yeah, Once Upon a Galaxy is a mobile-first auto battler, and it's fairly simple to play, but the games, I mean, you can see how quick the games are. They take usually about like 5 to 7 minutes if you're just playing on your phone, and it's pretty fun. And there's a different twist on it. You like unlock cards and you choose which cards you want to have access to during a game. I'm going to get rid of Crystal, play Guardian of the Grove. That just seems right. And I definitely don't need a Tin Man. Could honestly see Friar Tuck instead of Miseria. Because when are we activating Miseria? Anytime. I say this, but we're going to wind up activating the Miseria now, except we're already top 4. So I am going to concede because, yeah, like I said, if we wind up taking multiple cracks at the apple, I want to be able to get through it as quickly as possible. Here I think we go for the Candyman every time, trying for a 3rd place. Yeah, Demon Bluff is definitely where my viewers at. I think people like Demon Bluff, and I think people like watching me play Demon Bluff as well. Like, I think that people like I basically do, you know, the same style of commentary, whatever game I'm playing, but that lends itself well to the puzzle solving genre. The Twitch has lower latency and just another, that says just another Joe Star, right? Just another Joe Star. Thank you very much for the follow. I don't know if you have a different name on YouTube, if that's what you're implying with that comment, but yeah, Twitch has, it's interesting. Like, I just stream on both, so that way people have the opportunity to watch wherever they appreciate it. Oh, Amber from YouTube. Cool. But a Laser Shark is really good with Gingerbread House. Let's actually focus on the game the tiniest amount here. We're gonna win. Oh no, we're gonna lose, and we lose our heart. That's a bummer, especially up against an Iron Monkey there. Now I'll just go Gumdrop, and now we probably can't lose again. But it's all right. Yeah, I just like to stream on both platforms. That way, regardless of which platform people like watching, they can do so. But it also means that, you know, I potentially like split my audience, but I don't really think that that's relevant because I think that more people probably watch. Oh, from the Storybook Brawl days. For sure, yeah. That might be my favorite game. If I'm allowed to say that, then Storybook Brawl is probably still my favorite game. It's really fun. I'll go Lifesaver here. I'm not expecting to lose any combats, but I think that this is fine. And then I'm going to try to get some additional battle prowess here with a Blackjack. Nice. We get a Magic Acorn. Okay. I think this is going totally reasonable, though. And what do I need to get? I need to get a 3rd place finish. I probably pick up a Miseria just because I haven't sweetened my candy that much. probably look for another candy card here. That makes sense to me. Going into turn 7, I don't have much in the way of sweetened candy. And it looks like we are going to sweeten our candy right now with the Lifesaver because we are losing this fight. So, glad I picked up the Miseria there, though I've also made myself a little bit weaker the past 2 turns. So, which one came first? It's tough to say. I think we have to go for Cool Whip here, though, because I think sweetening is better than the Pixie. But Pixie on Sour Patch Kid and Blackjack is definitely worth considering. It's only a +6/+6 for now. But it is quite good. Okay, I'm going to take it because I'd like to heal up this heart, actually. And then you meet in a tavern, and we miss. I am surprised that YouTube has lower latency. Because, so, I'll answer that question in a sec too, Zaya. But, I figured that, so YouTube normally has lower latency for me, but the benefit of YouTube, the reason I like YouTube as a viewer is because you're allowed to just rewind if you miss something. That does mean that sometimes people are rewound on YouTube and they don't realize it, so you might be 5 seconds behind on YouTube and you can just like scroll ahead and then you're caught up. So that can be a little bit awkward as well. Let's pick up Viscount Chocolat and then definitely sweeten my candy. And now this is giving +8/+8, and this is stealing +12/+12. It's still not good enough. I think we're actually going to lose this fight as well, which means we are going to sweeten my candy one more time, but we lose a full heart. Are we in the top 3, though? That's the question. Let's go Mixo Macho Blackjack, because it's my smallest card. And then Mixo Macho Pixie, probably. I could also grab Titania here. Maybe that is better. Yeah, I'll grab a Titania and try to pump up the Sour Patch Kid. We're in the top 4, so we need to not lose this. This is a full-hearted opponent. We can... Oh, did the Mixo Macho not work because it got chocolated? Oh, that is such a bummer. And then we lose, and we lose a full heart. So, we got 3rd place. Wow, I was not sure. Karma Chameleon artist signature is beautiful. Definitely happy for that one. But I was not expecting that one. Okay, now we have to get a 2nd place in order to pick up a signed Wishing Fish. And I did want to say, I am not done with Dupery just because I 100%ed it, but... I will probably do like, yeah, that was definitely lucky. I will probably, I haven't figured out what I'm going to do for the next video, but I do think I'll play a game of Dupery within the next week or so. So yeah, definitely don't count Dupery out just because of that. I need a 2nd place. I think I'm going to go Jason of the Argonauts, but I think we can re-roll Hecate. Oh, Sapphire's quite good. The only question is, do we have Miseria on Jason? And that looks like a no. And then I don't think we have Miseria on Sapphire. I don't even have a custom deck on Sapphire. Oh, I have Miseria? Okay, well, that is absolutely gravy then. We'll pick that up. Huntsman is pretty good from there too. Yeah, definitely excited for some Dupery updates in the future. I did look at the patch notes for like the most recent update. It looked like the most recent update was nothing, though. It was just like some quality of life things. No new content, I'll say. It wasn't nothing. It wasn't nothing, but it was not anything to go crazy over. I think that especially in tournaments where the competition is going to be a little bit higher and you just need to reach a certain place. So here's the thing. If Miseria does nothing, that means you're winning, right? And if Miseria does everything, then she can help you come back from what would otherwise be a loss. So she's really good at just flattening your power, which doesn't necessarily help you get a first, but because she helps you whenever you would lose, I think that in general she does a pretty good job. The Pisces isn't super important. I mean, none of these cards are super important. I guess I'll go Pisces Godfather. I'm also only trying to get second place, so we don't need like a Worm Scale Tinkerer. Barrel of Monkeys is cute with Sapphire, but I don't think it's good enough anymore, especially with no other support other than my Captain Power. I think Black Hole is fine too. Yeah, it's an epic card. I'll take it. Cool. So hopefully we can put Sapphire to the test here. Do I want a turn 1 Dragonling, or I think I'm going to go turn 1 Lancelot, because we can actually just grow it. That card's fine. I possibly could have played it. It feels a little like win more. Maybe it's a good card if you need to get a first place finish, but I don't think it's necessary when you need to get a second place finish. I don't think it gets you to the end game necessarily, but Lancelot can definitely get us there. Ooh, a Gingerbread House is a nice pickup after that. And then I think I'll just go Friendly Spirit. And I'm going to play my important cards in the front row. Lancelot goes up to a 6-4. That is already pretty good for this stage of the game. And I don't think I want a Mysterious Egg. Slappy is kind of cool on Sapphire, but I'm just going to take a Peter Pan here always. And now I have Peachy Queen or Toadie. Toadie seems silly, but I actually think it could be good. And then if we Silvery Moon, Lancelot's online. Or if we Ember, Lancelot's online. Let's Ember. Let's get the Lance online here. When Gingerbread House dies, this will get +3/+1. There we go. So now we've got ourselves a little Lance, and we should be able to ride this to victory. My ship is now in top shape, and it's only actually turn 4. Let's take a Mysterious Egg from here, I do believe. And also move this here. Oh, we can play a Cowardly Lion with the Gingerbread House now. That's pretty good. I could even see playing the egg here, just because then it'll get pumped up by the house. Sure, that's fine. Cool. Yeah, that's solid. And then we wind up tying. Or is this a win? No, it's a tie. A tie is totally fine. Mr. Fox, Fire-Breathing Dragon. I'm definitely taking one of these two and cutting the Cowardly Lion. The question is which? I think it's just Mr. Fox here. I think it'll be fine. And, wow, we have some other good options here now, too. I think that Grodo on Mr. Fox is also fine, just to make sure it's getting those hunts in. But we could also Greenbeard to try to grow Mr. Fox for a little bit. And that might also just be the best move. Yeah, let's try this out for a turn. And we'll play the board like this. We do grab the hunt, so Mr. Fox is also going to grab the hunt, which grabs me a Relic of Antiquity. Cool. And a win. And a kill onto Omniverse Omnivore. This might go quicker than I thought. If we breeze through this Once Upon a Galaxy tournament, that is going to be great news for the Demon Bluff fans in the chat. So, fingers crossed there. Let's meet a Greenbeard in a tavern. Sure, why not? Tin Man not going to be good for me. Oh, am I replacing the egg here? Egg is about to hatch into a legendary. I could replace the egg for a secret rare later. I think a legendary is good enough, though. So I am just going to keep the egg. I believe Still have an opportunity to replace the egg here, but... I think it might be fine. No, let's keep the egg. I think that we get second if we have a legendary next turn. I think that that's going to be more than good enough. That was a really insane hunt for me. So was that, actually. Yeah, it was a pretty insane combat. And now we have the Kraken. Okay. This is a kind of an insane front line. Maybe I backline the Kraken, actually. Yeah, I think that that's reasonable. Just a little more stats. I don't know why. I guess just because we've pumped up our shops a little bit. Scarecrow is a nice potential power spike. And I'll go Silvery Moon on the Kraken. Try to find a legendary treasure or potentially a secret rare if we wind up True Love's kissing this or something. But definitely looking good for now. We have the... Oh, that's why my health is pumped up as well. Because Peter Pan plus Thorn is pumping up everything for me here. We are high rolling for sure. You think the Kraken is a high roll or just high rolling in general? Kraken I'd say is like mid-tier, but maybe it's a little bit better than normal. I don't know. I think that it's about in the mid, but overall, I definitely feel strong. Excuse me. Friar Tuck is not terrible on turn 9. Yeah, we haven't picked up any treasures, so the next treasure that I pick up is going to have +2, +5. That's pretty cool, too. Oh, what if we... Yeah, there's some big high rolls we could find here. Okay, I'm just going to cycle through silvers then this turn. Then we find Oberon. I think I want Oberon for sure. Yeah, let's play this. Then I find Guardian of the Grove. Like here, I don't need Miseria, and that's totally fine. All of my cards are animals, though, so I think I should play Guardian of the Grove, which means goodbye to Oberon. A little bit awkward. And also awkward, Scarecrow's going to give us a legendary treasure, not a secret rare treasure. Yeah, I think that's probably fair. Kraken early is good. Like I would say Guardian of the Grove is a high roll though, whereas the Kraken can definitely be a little bit of a miss sometimes, but we're strong enough that it's been totally fine in this lobby. So no disrespect to the Kraken intended here. We could Maverick and Icewing, which we are about to grab a treasure. Or we could just Flopsy, which we're growing with a Guardian of the Grove. So, yeah, this is pretty insane, too. Maybe we find a treasure that can... Yes, Melody's Loot, a scaling treasure, is insane with the +2, +5 on it. So, that one, I'll say, is a high roll. And now I'm potentially looking to cut the Kraken just to pump up cards with Flopsy, though. We could also say, like, Boon Willow to pump up my back slots, and then Flopsy continues to get bigger. Sure, I'll do that, because the thing is, we're going to wind up making our Flopsy so much bigger that we're going to wind up replacing any cards that we replace this turn. We're going to wind up replacing them again next turn. So let's just keep pumping up the Flopsy by attacking with animals, and we deal a full heart of damage onto this opponent. That's nice. Now we can grab a 100 Bronze Goose. I'll take it. And I think I'm actually going to cut the Fox at this point. Is that true? No, I like the Fox. Let's cut the Kraken. Just because it's significantly bigger. Now I can Fairy Pancakes. I kind of forget how this works with Flopsy. But maybe it's good. Maybe it works. Yeah, this looks like it worked. Now, we do have a choice. Friar Tuck or True Love's Kiss. I think I'm fine to just take a Friar Tuck, though. Yeah, Friar Tuck's good with Melody's Loot, too, because then we can keep on pumping everything up. Viewersstreamboo.com. I don't know about all that. How do I... I think I've just blocked you. Hopefully. I don't know if that's like the best moderation tool. Kalari, if you're hanging out, you can feel free to time them out or whatever, but or just ban them. But yes, viewersstreamboo.com, huge shout out, sponsor of the stream, of course. I'm just going to cast spells here to activate Friar Tuck and pump up the gang with Melody's loot even further. That makes the most sense to me. Bonus shop here. I'll cycle through Greenbeard. Yes. For sure. A legendary spell in the first shop each turn. That's gotta be good. Because then we can start doubling. Oh, we already got second. Okay, well, that's... I'll play it out. I think for the final rounds, it's fine to play it out. And this gives us some practice for the actual finals. But I think we are also looking good. A lot of the times a second is a first, but not always. Definitely not always. This time we are tying, so this could actually be kind of a spicy game. But yes, Eureka was also another spell that I was definitely thinking of because we have the Friar Tuck already. And then I'll pump up this slot. We could actually replace Bronze Goose with Rage Mage, so that way we can pump Flopsy even further. I'll just take the bonus shop here, though. Karma Chameleon, also fine, but yeah, let's activate the Friar Tuck. Then we'll cycle through some silvers. That Laser Shark definitely did a lot there. And then finish off with an Over the Rainbow plus something good. Okay, I won't say that this is bad. Guardian of the Grove is good. If it was bronze, it would have been doubled again, so that could have been insane. But this is still a rather large pickup. And now we can pick up a Sorcerer's Mop, which will definitely be the pickup every time. I didn't realize my front slots were bigger. Maybe could have been doing this for a little bit longer, but this should definitely find us the win. Their big bad wolf can't even hunt anymore, so I don't think that we are really risking it, but Puxatony Phil not going to respawn, but we do still grab the win. So there you go. Let's stroke. I could also probably move over the Flopsy. Yeah, this slot is just ever so slightly a little bit bigger. And then Legendary Treasure or some more shops. I'll go for the bonus shop here. Abracadabra. I will True Love's Kiss if we find it. Oh, and I will also Over the Rainbow if we find it. This could be huge. It's large, but not huge. Yeah, I'm just going to stroke again. I am winning, son. I am definitely looking good here, Matumbo. We are on, as you can see, round 4 and getting our top 2. This is attempt number 1 for me, but looks like we will be taking it to the final round. And then we'll see if we can actually capitalize on it. And, oh, here is a huge Puxatawny Phil coming in for the win. And now let's see what our final round captain options are. We also grabbed the Artist Signature Wishing Fish. And so this is captain, but I already have this, or no, this is something new. Why is this giving me question marks? That is a little bit scary. I know there were some bugs with the tournament earlier on in the day, but the tournament is working, right? I can play this round 5 and win and get a captain. I'll check on Discord to see what captain is actually up for grabs real quick. Let's see. Announcements. Looks like... Oh, looks like nothing, actually. Oh, but kind of yes. Okay. So actually, yes, they're just they're saying that on day 2, no, it's not Evil Charlie Potts. So what they're saying is at the start of day 2, everyone that makes day 2 gets an Omniversal Omnivore Captain skin. I can probably pull it up somewhere, but they're saying it's not a reward for right here. It's a reward for once you hit day 2, which was probably what there was the bug for earlier. But we are playing for an Omniverse Omnivore Captain skin with this game. So let's see if we can do it. I'm not going to go Baldier for a first place. I think I could actually get it done with Styx, though. I mean, this is tempting. I just made a video about Omniverse Omnivore, and I don't think that the captain is good. But this is literally for Omniverse Omnivore, so should I? I'll let you guys vote in the chat right now. Just say 1, 2, or 3. And yeah, get the skin and then make a video on him. So don't worry about actually playing him right now. Just, yeah, get the win with Styx. That's kind of what I'm leaning towards. But feel free to vote in the chat 1, 2, or 3. Which you'd rather see me play. That's definitely something I can do in the earlier rounds of the tournament too. But let me know. I think that Styx is my best shot of winning. I'm just going to make the Styx deck real quick and take a look. I've got Destiny, but I don't have Miseria. But what I do have is Almirage. All right, we've got 1 vote for Styx. Like, my Styx deck isn't great. I just have Wormscale Tinker. So, I'm not sure if it's, like, the best thing in the game. I don't even think this does anything. Yeah, not really. I'm going to play Yggdrasil. Okay, we've got a vote for 2. That is also a totally acceptable option. I'm playing too many commons here for sure. Styx doesn't start with that many great cards, but I think we'll do this. Oh, we have Orion. That's what I just unlocked on Styx. Oh, yeah, that's great. Okay. Probably cut Ditto for Orion here now. Yeah, Orion is really, really good. And then on Sir Galahad, let's see. If I have Miseria on Sir Galahad, that is also a pretty big consideration, but it does not look like I do, unfortunately. So I'd probably stick with this Galahad list. And then Omniverse Omnivore. I have not made a custom deck list. Yeah, no, that's fair. I think that... I think that Galahad definitely has some win equity as well. Alright, it doesn't look like anybody's voting for Omnivore. So I'm not going to worry about making a deck for Omnivore. We'll do that in the Omnivore video after we get first place here. And I think I'm going to get first place right now with Styx. So I've been playing a decent amount with Styx since making my Styx video. I think that my Styx video went very well and I did some cool things. It's not often a captain that I'm first placing with, but I think it is a captain that has the ability to first place. I might actually also cut the Raven because I really just want to hit these 2 cards on level 1. Maybe we'll play Hercules. Galahad could be better. I think that Galahad is probably slightly better, but it's close. So we could go Galahad too. I'm definitely down to play Galahad. And I think my deck for Galahad is a little more coherent, but my deck for Styx also is doing some fun stuff. Like, we're trying to make a big Almirage and then trying to throw all those stats on a Boon Willow. Or we've got some Boon stuff with Tantalus and Orion, which Tantalus scales crazy with sticks. So it's quite good. Whirladoo is a catch-up card. I think I'm going to play sticks here. I'll just honor the votes. We had 2 votes for sticks. Let's run it. And we immediately find a Thorn, a Hamstar, and a Dragonling. Let's go Thorn. And then we can play a Peachy Queen. Sure, it's a little bit awkward. We could also pick up a Puck and pump up the Thorn with that, which makes us the strongest for this turn, but this can be really cool. If we happen to hit the Peachy Queen again, it's great, and we don't get punished here because my opponent is playing Nemesis. That Nemesis is going to be really tough to deal with later, but for right now, they've given us a freebie. Gingerbread House is the best possible thing to die first. And I could actually lock competition is now following. Thank you very much for the follow. Yeah, Gingerbread House is enough better scaling that I might actually intentionally try to force it onto Gingerbread House here. This is good. And now it's giving +3/+1 on death, and we didn't risk anything in that fight. Young Hercules, probably the pickup here. Wind-up toy, it's a little bit late for that. And we'll maybe find some boons, but it's also just a 6/5. Then we'll go Gingerbread House again. I might actually try to keep Gingerbread House in the first position for a moment. And we can put the stats onto a Young Hercules. Oh, we find the Fortune Teller. This is such a huge pickup, because now we can actually double it and double the Young Hercules' stats. So this is really, really good. This one's free. Boon of Fortunes is free. Boon of Fates is probably still free, though, too. And we'll get it on turn 5. And we get the bonus shops on turn 5 to start doing other boon things. I think that this is really good. Okay, and it survived, so... Oh no, but then the Gingerbread House survived too. Oh, that's so awkward. Okay, well still, if Young Hercules dies first, it's still scaling off of sticks, so it's reasonable. I'm probably going to take Tink with the Peachy Queen buff and pump that onto Young Herc. Looks fine. Okay, another Peachy Queen, though we could also Peter Pan. Oh, we could do this now. I think we Peter Pan here. I'm also tempted to start growing a potential Peachy Queen, even though it's a little bit late. Imagine if the Peachy Queen died first earlier. Yeah, that could have been good. Okay, well, it might not be too late to Almirage. Yeah, I think I'm done with Peachy Queen, and now we are going for Almirage. But I don't know that I want to put it first. I think I'm going to keep Young Hercules first because it can attack and survive, and if Almirage happens to get attacked into, it is still really good for us because then we're growing that with our sticks. We actually do lose this fight, which means we've won and lost, right? So we get those bonus shops on turn 5 here. Couldn't have asked for anything better other than maybe we could have two-headed wizard this Favor of the Fortunes, but this looks totally fine for me. Oh, we doubled Young Hercules up to insane stats. That was so much more stats than I thought it was going to be. Okay, I don't think we need to take Na'Vi here because we are not going to lose this fight. That is wild. I can Peachy Queen again, but we haven't pumped up the Peachy Queen. That's fine. We'll still take the Peachy Queen. We're going to keep Almirage here, so that way we can get more value out of Young Hercules. We're going to go for a lesser Mimic, so we can find some extra boons here. I now think I am getting out of Almirage and going into Tantalus. But we really need Orion. This is fine. Treasure buffs +3/+3. and we get a second copy of whatever the next treasure is. All of these things are really good. We can also now start going for a blackjack and say screw you to young Hercules. Well, I think blackjack's a fine... I guess we'd actually be saying screw you to Al Mirage. Or Gingerbread House. I think I toss Gingerbread House here and play the blackjack. And then we play it like this. We could even play it like this, and then Al Mirage is potentially the one dying. Because it is still good scaling. Okay, I like this. Al Mirage dies again. That actually was best case scenario. We got a Relic of Antiquity. And honestly, I think we're getting a first place finish here. We only deal half a heart of damage onto that cup, so that's a bit of a bummer. But I think we're going to be able to put this all together. I don't think this helps us enough. I think we just cycle through Two-Headed Wizard. Cycle through Ember. This is now giving +4/+4, so it's really pumping up the blackjack slot. And what will go down first? Tantalus. I'm totally fine with that. And again, only half a heart of damage. This Nemesis hasn't activated yet. That is so silly. We get to double cast a Lost in the Woods, which is great. It's turn 7, which means we're not really looking for Orion at this point, but I'm also not looking for Orion at this point. Cycle through Ember. This is a little tough. Yggdrasil Sapling actually does work. Maybe we cut the Tink then and play Yggdrasil Sapling. Yggdrasil is still a little bit awkward because we have to now throw that in the Al Mirage slot, which probably means I might just start making a Boon Willow slot now. And cycling through a Bronze Goose. We hit the Golden Tantalus. We don't have a single boon, but we will grab a rare treasure with +3/+3 on it here, and 2 copies of it. We'll see what our options are here. So I can either give my back row slots +26/+26, or I can Timeline Duplicator 2x, which might give me 4 total copies of Styx. Couldn't it? I think that's how this works. The first one gives me 1, and then the second one gives me 2 more, right? No, okay, that's not how that works. Never mind. You only get 1 additional copy. Fair enough. Yggdrasil Sapling is still fine in the first slot, playing to pump up. But we'll just wind up giving this +3/+3. And then eventually we find a Wormscale Tinkerer. And we start to give that +3/+3 every turn. And that is very good. Don't get me wrong. Golden on Young Hercules. So that way it triples if we happen to find another boon. I don't look like I'm finding another boon right now. But I do want to find another boon. I just haven't found the Orion, unfortunately. We will certainly just cycle through this here. Okay. What is going to go down first? It's going to be the blackjack again. So we're still pumping up the blackjack. I guess that's fine. And we're actually not using the Yggdrasil Sapling. I said that could be awkward if we aren't able to utilize that. We could try to use Al Mirage to get my ship in top shape, but I think I should just spin the wheel and... why are you collecting so many sticks trying to start a campfire? Exactly. Hopefully we can light some fires with this comp, but that is the other thing with Al Mirage pumping this first slot, is it means that the thing that you want to have die the most, so you put first, is then the biggest. So that could be awkward going into the future as well. I will definitely be through the Looking Glassing. And I'm just going to through the Looking Glass Al Mirage. This is a fun thing to take advantage of. So the Oberon now has +3/+3 on its abilities, which I think is just neat, if nothing else. And now I might play the board like this, or actually even just like this. Tantalus is going to go eventually. We could also play it like this. This is fine. Because then the sapling can still die and pump up blackjack. Even though it doesn't look like the sapling is going to die. If it doesn't die, then it wasn't going to die in the third slot either. So this is fine here. We'll go for an Oberon next, and then a Titania. Okay, Yggdrasil sapling's gotta go. Let's go for this now. Yeah, Captain Hook it is. Okay, so we're in the finals, and both of us have 3 hearts. I am just going full tempo. If we can manage to complete a boon, sure. If we can find something else that we can start scaling, sure. But otherwise, we're just going to grind out Titania plus Oberon stats and hope that that is enough with Captain Hook to grab us the win. There is, oh, finally a boon. Thank goodness. Okay, we've got a boon. We can boon of Styx, so that way we get Miseria. No, it's a, or not Miseria, Nemesis. It's a Nemesis that hasn't lost a heart for some reason. So we'll take a boon of Styx here. This really puts us all in, but it means that if we win the next fight, we simply win the game. So I am down to push my advantage here. Oberon can give us an Excalibur for plus 20 this turn, or a Jack's Magic Beans for plus 50 on something this turn. If I take Excalibur and replace Titania or Blackjack with a different hero, though, that is also pretty good. You know what? It probably isn't actually pretty good, come to think of it. I think I will simply Twinkle Twinkle, because this is better scaling. It is, maybe that was wrong. It is really important that I win this turn specifically. So maybe for that express purpose, it was wrong, but I don't think it's going to be an issue. I think we are simply going to get the win here, which means we are going to grab the Nemesis Captain Power, and we are then going to triple Young Hercules. Wait, what? Did we tie? Wait, what? Was I not paying attention? I swear we just won that fight. Okay. I'm not sure what happened there. Oh, well. Let's cycle. I lost? Oh, I lost. Oh. Oh, because my backline is so weak. I just lost. Huh. Okay. Well, we can turn this around, I am sure. I wasn't... That was wild. I was so expecting to win that I just did not think that that was possible. All Boots of Magic Finding. I messed up because we could have gone for Guardian of the Grove there. In the Nemesis thread on Discord, it sounds like there are some top-ranking folks who are also trying builds that do not lose the heart immediately. Yeah, so now that Nemesis has been nerfed, you have to try to figure out some other things to do with it. So I've been playing around with the Captain a bunch, and there is definitely merit to... especially like not trying to lose it early and potentially finding like Merlin scrolls, or finding boons that give you Merlin scrolls, or maybe they're called magician scrolls. I forget, but the common treasure that gives your spells +2/+2 is really good, because then you can continue to scale everything up. I'm going to play Guardian of the Grove here, I think. Am I going to cut Titania? Oh, I could put in a 2-headed dragon. Okay, Masterwork Scrolls. Yes, thank you. All right, let's cut Titania, put in a 2-headed dragon, and see if backlining a Captain Hook can get us a win. I don't see how we lost to begin with, to be totally honest. They must have summoned something crazy off of this, is what happened, and I just wasn't paying attention. But there's the Boon of Styx. There is going to give me a copy of Nemesis, and, importantly, tripled the Hercules. That was the important thing. I was like, there was something else I was playing for there. Yeah, we tripled the Hercules. Wait. Did we not triple the Hercules because it wasn't in play? I feel like we didn't triple the Hercules. That is still part of the game? I thought they removed that by now for sure. Let's get lost in the woods. Let's grab a golden secret rare. Yeah, I don't think that that worked, which is a bummer. I don't think that this is going to work, which is also a bummer. But we'll finish off here with the Starlight Starbright and hopefully finish this opponent off. If not, if we can just hunt on either of these two, then I think we are still setting ourselves up for success. Young Hercules is still huge as well, and this is still going to be a win. Okay, great. So that was actually pretty easy to day 2, and we have the, oh, it's a new victory banner. Oh, I just realized that. That's a different color, right? That is the, I don't know how to equip that. Thank you very much. Is there a way to, is it in an account? I probably shouldn't be showing this. I mean, my email's public, but let me just look at that page real quick. It would be wild if, yeah, no, this is all fine. Info. Okay. But I don't see equip in Captain Select Cosmetics Picker. Okay. Oh, this is like in the custom deck? Up here? Oops. Did I just delete this deck? No, I didn't. Oh, cosmetics. I just can't read. Great. Okay, so this is all that I wanted to show off here to end off this portion of the stream. We have the Season 1 victory banner and now the Season 2 victory banner. And on Sunday, I've never clicked this button. So, yeah, sorry about that. But on Sunday, we will be playing for the Season 2 champion banner, which will have this Once Upon a Galaxy blue background and the, I almost want to say like off yellow trim as opposed to the gold trim of the purple. Oh, and you can switch back to default frames instead of playing with the diamond frame. Oh, and you can also use the diamond banner, but yeah, I kind of want to play like diamond banner for the captains I've got diamond on. New alt art costumes for Season 2 as well. Right. There are Omniverse Omnivore. We just won with that round 5 finish. And I'm also not sure if you were here earlier, Scott, but the difference is, I believe, that on round 5 of day 1, you used to win the alt art, and now it just wins the day 2 invite, which technically wins you the alt art, but that's possibly what broke whatever broke earlier, though I'm assuming y'all have tabs on what happened wrong because you fixed it. But we got that, and then we also got one other captain. Yes, well, you helped us figure out this, which is good. And what was the other captain? I feel, oh, it was Faker. Faker the Caker Baker was the first alt art that we got. And then we also got Omniverse Omnivore, which we'll grab that actually on Sunday. And we'll also be playing for some more cool cosmetics. But that is going to be it for this portion of the stream. Let me just text back my partner real quick. And we're going to play some Demon Bluff now, for sure. So let's get that loaded up. And I might just switch to this screen real quick. Cool. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, we don't need... What is this? Yeah, that's what I want. Okay. Cool. And I believe we are now good to go in Demon Bluff. I do use a slightly different camera for that, though. Cool. And I also want to move around the chat accordingly. So, where's my chat? We're going to move the chat to right here, I think. So, I'm trying out something a little bit different with this one, because I'm going to try to play Demon Bluff while live streaming for the first time. So, yeah, there will be people that can potentially help me. I'm not sure how much I, want to look at chat, and I'm not sure how chat will help or hurt the process of playing this game. I probably won't look at it that much, but I don't know. We're going to figure it out here. You know what? Actually, here's a great way that we can utilize chat, actually, is for the deck building portion. You all can decide which cards I should take. I think that's probably reasonable. So, yeah, feel free to weigh in on which of these characters I should draft. I think that that's fine. While I have the live chat here, I think that that makes the most sense to do. So we can either go for an Oracle, and that's pretty good. Makes it a 1 in 3 with the information, or the Enlightened, which is going to point us in a particular direction. And you guys will also get to choose the direction of the run as a whole, if you want me to pick up a bunch of doubles, or if you want me to have, I think one thing that could be cool too, well, you guys are allowed to make the choices. So whatever choices you want here, I think the deck building, but trying to draft the worst things is definitely something that could be interesting. If you all agree, then say what. Okay, Oracle, because you've never seen the game. Fair enough. So yeah, Oracle, we've got 1 vote for, and we've got 1 vote for Enlightened. Next vote, we'll have it break the tie. And I think that's 1 vote for Enlightened because it is worse, 1 vote for Oracle because you've never seen this game before, and anybody can have their own criteria, right? So, yeah, that'll definitely texture it a little bit. We're going to have Enlightened as the tiebreaker. Next choice is between the Bishop and the Empress. Very similar cards here. One of 3 is evil, 1 of 3 is evil. Either way, you split it. And if lying, then they're all good. I think that the Empress is probably a little bit more interesting, but I think the Empress is more interesting because it's probably the worst character. I think the Bishop is just strictly better than the Empress because it's self-confirmable and also has really powerful information when it's wrong. But we've got 1 vote so far for Bishop. I assume just another Joe Star's vote will be for Empress, and oh no, we've got 2 votes for Bishop here. This is a werewolf style game, so it's called a single player social deduction game. It's a logic puzzle game. We are going to draft characters that will all make up roles in a town and have information. And then there will also be some evil characters that pretend to be these roles, and the evil characters will lie about their information. And that means that you can try to figure out who's lying and who's telling the truth, and figure out what makes all of the pieces of information fit together so you can figure out who's on the evil team. That's the quick sell, and it's very fun. It's really just a puzzle game. And this is like a new sort of experimental game mode in it where you get to pick which characters you want to play with. Normally it's just totally random and you're just presented with random puzzles every village. Bishop is harder for me, IMO, especially when blind. It's harder to figure out the bishop's info. Interesting. We've got a vote for Gemcrafter here. Yeah, Gemcrafter is definitely worse than Empress. Empress is definitely powerful. And we have we've got 1 vote Gemcrafter, 1 vote Empress. All right. Lock competition. I guess you can break the tie again. I don't think you've, no, you didn't vote in all of them, but we need 1 more vote here to bring it home. And that is going to be a vote for Empress. There's like a few more of these that we have to do. I'm going to put my thumb on the scale on this one. If we get 1 vote for the Slayer, I'll pick up the Slayer. But otherwise, we'll go for Dreamer. Dreamer's a little bit bugged, which is why I typically avoid it. But Slayer or Dreamer, still chat's choice. If you want me to play with Dreamer because I don't play with Dreamer as much otherwise, I can see that logic too. Just to mix it up, though, I feel like I don't typically like to take Slayers super highly either. Dreamer. I'll go for Dreamer. There's 2 votes Dreamer there. That's funny. We did take an Oracle already. I believe we took an Oracle. I can scroll up in the chat. Oracle. No, we took an Enlightened. So we don't have an Oracle yet. We also don't have a Fortune Teller. We can pick up doubles. That is allowed. Might just make the game turn into some other silliness. And I guess I can get some direct feedback here. Are we going for score or are we going for like one thing actually that I've been thinking I should try to do, because I believe personally that there should be more of a bonus when you don't kill a single villager. So I think I'm going to start trying to play deck building mode with no mistakes and making sure that no villagers die at all. And lock competition, that might sound super straightforward, but the game has mechanics in this version that actually kind of reward you for killing villagers and getting the puzzles wrong, because then you get a higher score if you've like revealed less information. But I think especially while we potentially have some people here checking out the game that have never seen it before, I'm going to play as close to normal Demon Bluff as we can. And for people that haven't seen the game before, this is probably like the worst way to introduce it. I probably should have just played the normal game. Perfect Solve Blind Mode. Perfect Solve Blind Mode is a little bit tougher, but minimum flip but non-blind mode solves too. Yeah, I think you're basically just saying you like all of it. No matter what, you're here for it, kind of. We've got a tie right now. 1 vote Oracle, 1 vote Fortune Teller. So if anybody else wants to weigh in, otherwise I will just select one randomly. I'll do it random. Okay, we got the Oracle. Great, and now we can do the Fortune Teller, or we can do the Judge. I do believe that this is the last decision that we have to make. And both of these are pretty similar. Learn if they're lying. Pick 1 character, learn if they're lying, or pick 2 characters, learn if they're evil. I think the Judge is probably more powerful, right? Because the Judge, I don't know, it's tough. Like, the Judge reduces it to a 50-50, the Fortune Teller reduces it to a 1 in 3. But the Judge can get some really specific information when you need it to, which is oftentimes what you're looking to do with an Activate card. We'll go with the Judge here, and now we have to find the Chancellor, and we have to find the Drunk. So I'm just going to tutorialize this a little bit in case there are... Yeah, I agree. The Fortune Teller can cover more possibilities. The Chancellor is our 1 evil, so it will disguise and lie, and then one villager next to it becomes an outcast role. Typically, we would have 1 minion, 0 outcasts, and 5 villagers in this village of 6, but because the Chancellor is here, it adds an outcast, which is the drunk, which also lies and disguises, but is actually good. So we need to find 2 lies, and they need to be right next to each other. So let's start flipping here. 1 is evil between 2, 3, and 5. And interestingly, if this is the drunk, these could never be the Chancellor. Specifically, 2 could never be the Chancellor, so it would always be 6. So we'll keep that in mind. But let's flip over number 2. Okay, it's the Dreamer. I'm going to leave that for a little bit. It's an Empress. Okay, so we found our first double claim, which means that one of these 2 Empresses is the Chancellor. And we can potentially figure it out just from double claims. If there's another one, no. No, I guess there never would be another double claim, because the drunk won't double claim. This is telling us 1 or 4 is the Chancellor, and this can't be the drunk because it's not next to either of our potential Chancellors. So this is the Chancellor. One of these 2 is the drunk. Doesn't matter which one. That's the solution. And it was able to lie because, of course, it was a baddie. Definitely warming up. It's a fine village to warm up with. But now we could add... Yeah, we still don't have a fortune teller. We declined to take a fortune teller twice, right? So I think we're going to grab it this time. Nobody likes the druid, right? I think if you're looking for the worst one, you take the druid. But the druid's really just not that fun. I mean, it's fine. It just sometimes does nothing. I think fortune teller's going to win this one. We can also grab a medium, a poet, or... Well, we can't heal. Oh, we can't actually grab anything here yet. Yeah, druid gives a new type of information, so from that aspect, it's fine. But, like, you got a rambler puzzle, and it just doesn't give you any information. So, that can certainly be awkward. Okay. Well, I was actually... Okay. Yeah, I think we want to flip over next to the Rambler. I was flipping over every other so that way we could potentially find the Rambler earlier. No, that's wrong. This is tough because we actually have so little information right now. But I guess I'm not trying to... Am I trying to score attack here still? I think I'm just flipping over every card for this first deck building mode, and then we can do it again. So we do have a double claim. The Puppeteer creates a puppet, which is a truth-telling evil adjacent to it. And... that means that this could be the puppet, and then this is evil. The Rambler will tell things to shut up. And because this is good... I guess we just use the judge, and if the judge says to shut up, then it's the Puppeteer. I mean, if it doesn't say to shut up. No, so these all have to be good, which means this has to be evil and this has to be evil, right? Yeah, I think that's just always the solution. This is the Puppeteer, and oh, shoot. I thought that in my head, but then I walked past it. Okay, we made a mistake there. Oh, well, this is the puppet. Because we made those mistakes, now we have a bunch of extra gold, so we can heal up. But, my bad. We do have a gem crafter already, right? Oh no, we didn't take the gem crafter. Oh, never mind. So all 3 of these are new options. It's an interesting way to think about drafting the characters, is picking up new types of information. And I wonder if it's useful to have a bunch of different types of information, like some about minions, some about evil, some about outcasts, or It probably is. My last video when I was taking the... was it all scouts? No, it was all knitters. And then I also briefly took, like, I think a lover and a scout, which are kind of like the same type of information. I think there's a lot of scenarios where that isn't super helpful. Okay, we've got a tie here, again, between lover and gemcrafter. Let's close my eyes and click. Okay, gemcrafter. Maybe when I close my eyes and click, I'm always clicking on the rightmost one. But, yeah. We can heal up here. I think that that's probably a fine move. The three main types are lying, disguised outcast, and good/evil. What else gives information about outcasts other than, I guess, like the bishop, besides the druid? Is there another one? Oh, I guess like gemcrafter sometimes does, but yeah, for the most part, I feel like it is really, yeah, just the, what is it? The druid that's doing that. I feel like, yeah, probably just take the heal here every time. That's fine. Now we have a witch and a shaman and a plague doctor, and this is going to get a lot more puzzly because the witch is going to deny one of our flips, so we can't really trust the plague doctor. Closest evil counterclockwise. Closest evil equidistant. Wait, what if both of these are true? What if this is the shaman pair and the closest evils are 5 and 6? No, that's not it, right? Yeah, wait, no, could this work? This works. Yeah, it's either 4 and 8 or it's 7 and 5. And both of these could be good. Okay. Let's go with that. We could also have Plague Doctor Corruption, but we could also have a bunch of liars. Okay. So, wait, I want to follow this to its conclusion. So, we could do 4. I'm going to need more space in this. 4, 8, or 7, 5. This is for 1 and 2. Now, what if 2 and 4 are both? Yeah, 2 and 4 could both be right if it's 1 and 3. Okay, so let's write this down as well. 1 and 3. And now what if 1 and 4 are both correct? Well, then it's 3 and 8. But it would have to be 2. I tried Cards Lie after seeing you play. How does it compare to Demon Bluff? Cards Lie was not... I think I would say is probably my least favorite of the direct clones that I've played so far, but I do think that there's potentially more as the game goes on. To be honest, it's sort of like, I don't think Cards Lie has received an update at all. I could be wrong. But yeah, I think that Cards Lie, there is a very good chance that... I mean, I see that this is not... I'm hesitant that, like... I don't know. It's tough for me to weigh in. I am not really the best judge of what things are AI and what things aren't AI, is what I'll say. But I think the game had some issues when it launched, and hasn't been updated in 2 months. And that doesn't inspire the most confidence. But, yeah, it seems like it could have just potentially been like a little bit of a AI cash grab sort of thing. What do you call it? Vibe coded sort of game. But there's some things that it does that are interesting and different. I haven't played it too much, but I could try going back to it and seeing if there's any like content that goes beyond. So one thing that Demon Bluff gives you a much better sense of the progression on, and Dupery too, how much of the total content you've unlocked and experienced in the game. So that's one thing that's hard to weigh on. It's like, okay, I think I have an opinion on Cards Live, but there could be a lot more content, and the game is a little bit obtuse in terms of how much of the game you've already experienced, right? So that's a little bit hard to say. So the other thing that I was saying is this Enlightened kind of implies that these would be the evils in order to make 1 and 4 both of their information track. But then this is in a double claim and saying the wrong thing. So I think it can't be 1 and 4. Oh, and it's also not 7 and 5. Because 7 and 5 doesn't include 4. So it's either 4 and 8, or it's 1 and 3. But there's also room for Plague Doctor corruption. Yeah, Demon Bluff is definitely... Demon Bluff and Dupery are the two that I recommend from the genre. There's also The Wrong Ones, which just released to, I believe, an early access demo, but they're all currently early access demos. Everybody, the whole genre in itself is actually pretty new. Oh, you know what? I think the worst one was the Traveling Slayer. But the whole genre is mostly pretty new. I think the oldest game in the genre, other than like the first actual game in the genre, is called Mimic Logic. And I wasn't super impressed with Mimic Logic, but mostly because it also had this shell that it sat in where you had to do some like combat sort of things rather than just doing full puzzles. But the actual puzzles were fine. I just didn't really care about the other aspect of the game. So if we flip over 8 and 3, I think we'll be able to solve the puzzle. Bishop is saying 3, 4, 5. And the interesting thing about that is that means that it cannot be evil with 4, but it is pointing to 3. So, if this is evil, this is correct, this is evil, and this is correct, we will find a Plague Doctor right here. It's also possible that there is a Plague Doctor corruption messing with some aspects of the puzzle, but I think this will be our Plague Doctor. It's not. Okay. Then here's what's crazy. I'm not sure if any of this works. No, we have a Plague Doctor corruption somewhere. Okay, I have to flip over 3. Wow. So here's what's crazy about the Bishop and why it's so powerful. It is not pointing at the Plague Doctor. It is always wrong. However, all 3 people that it's pointing at have to be good. I don't know anything about these, but what I do currently know is that this is wrong information and all 3 of these are good, which means this oracle is pointing right here. But any of these could be Plague Doctor corrupted, and this could still be Plague Doctor corrupted, which does give us a little bit more ambiguity. We know that between 6, 7, we have a Plague Doctor. 6 must be good, unless 4 is corrupted. I'm not sure. But we also know that we have an evil between these enlightens. Oh, I see what you're saying. 6 must be good unless 4 is corrupted. Probably. Is equidistant now impossible? Yeah, probably. Yes, definitely. Okay, so this information is also wrong, and it's in the double claim with these other enlightens. Closest evil would be 2, and... yeah, I mean, that's only if you're, like, saying this is guaranteed evil. I don't think that this has to be guaranteed evil. You could probably still make a world where this is Plague Doctor corrupted, and this is evil. No, but then this would be correct. Well, these could both be evil. Yeah, this is... Well, if this is evil, this is still pointing away from the enlightened. This enlightened pointing towards this bishop makes this enlightened feel good. I mean... but then, how is this enlightened also evil? I don't know. It seems like this is probably the witch, because how could we have another piece of bad information here and here? Yeah, this oracle has to be correct. There's our witch, which means the closest evil isn't this way. Oh, this is Plague Doctor corrupted. That's what it means. And this is evil, which means we have not yet found our shaman double claim. Let's see if we can find it. Oh, we do get to make another flip because of the witch. This is our Plague Doctor corrupted. 1 is evil, 8 is corrupted. And what is actually our shaman pair? It's an oracle shaman pair, and 2 is actually our shaman. There we go. There is the solution. So, yeah, to sing the praise of Demon Bluff rather than, like, talking down the other games, because the other games, and I think especially, like, if you saw my video on Cards Lie and thought it looked interesting enough to take a look at, the main, I would say, the main draw of Demon Bluff is the cute artwork. That is what gets people in the door. It was also the first to a Steam demo, other than Mimic Logic, which is just an older game. But the dev for this game is also very active on Discord, and I think there's a lot of potential for where this game is going to go. It feels like I don't know. It feels like this game also just has the best balance and the best puzzles, really, which is what it all comes down to. The so I'm just checking my phone real quick. The best puzzles really come from, like, not being too hard, but also not being too easy. I think that Dupery lends itself to being a little bit too hard, and all of the other games skew a little bit too easy. Though, actually, the Wrong Ones was too hard and too easy at times, so you can definitely find a little bit of both of those things happening at once. I'll skip and heal up after the next one, I suppose. And I don't think we have any double claims so far. Yeah. Okay, now we have a puppeteer plus a twin minion. Closest evil clockwise. Okay. I'm going to do every other while looking for a rambler again. And we have found it. So, assumedly, this will not tell anything to shut up. And we have our rambler. They said we would be getting a new card on the 27th, which is hype. For which game? For Demon Bluff? Or I haven't, or for Dupery. Probably for Demon Bluff. But sounds cool. 9 was affected by an evil. Yeah, definitely let me know if that's Demon Bluff, because I will plan on recording some that day and making some content around it for sure. 9 was affected by an evil means that, and this is possible, puppeteer puppet. That's the implication. Otherwise, this could just be a lie. But I think puppeteer puppet makes a lot of sense. 1, being the puppeteer, would also check out. Yeah, I think that that's probably all true then, because this is a lie. So now I need to find the twin minion. I'll flip 4. There was 1 corruption around me. There's our twin minion. And I am going to stab here. That is our puppeteer. And, oh, Demon Bluff has a new character coming out on the 27th. Nice. Okay. Well, I'm looking forward to that then. I assume Uzabi just said it on Discord then. But that's cool. Now we have the Poet, Slayer, and Empress. And we do have the Empress. We don't have the Slayer. Oh, I thought we had the Slayer. But feel free to vote. We are potentially adding in a second Empress, or is this Empress fake? I think we're potentially adding in a second Empress here. But that's fine. Feel free to vote for whatever you want to see added to Demon Bluff. You don't have to wait for the 27th. We're doing it right now. Another vote for a second Empress. Sounds spicy. I think that this is also good, like, to just have a little bit of texture of some added things, but not necessarily put in a bunch of craziness. Like, you don't need to play 4 knitters and nothing else to have some fun with it. Now, we could remove a card. So, if there's anything we don't like, we could get rid of it. Alchemist is probably fine with Puka as our final villager. And we could also cut the Dreamer. I think y'all wanted the Dreamer. But let me know if you want me to cut a card. Oh, and the other options here were the Knight and the Lover. The Knight and the Lover are both tough if the Puka is our final demon. So you do have to keep that in mind. I do think it's probably, yeah, like a fine idea to just, like, do whatever. Yeah, removing the bishop makes a lot of sense, actually. That's what I was just about to say, like, trying to make the hardest puzzles possible. 4 Witness is also kind of funny. Never liked removing cards. I agree, it's not, like, tactically strong, but if we think the bishop is too good, like, it basically, it made that last puzzle go from potentially interesting to just super easy immediately. Because I probably would have assumed that some other things fell apart there too, but I will potentially remove the bishop if anybody else, or we can just skip. We can just skip and save our health. But I'm going to try to not make any mistakes for the rest of this run, too, so it might not really come into play. Give you all one more second to weigh in. All right, I think we'll remove the bishop. I think that that's fine. And now we have a Chancellor and a Shaman, and then a Bombardier and a Plague Doctor. And no stabbing here. No blind stabs because of the Bombardier. 3, 6, or 8. 3 is a double claim. 6 is an outcast. 8 is a judge. Yeah, there's a few people otherwise like chiming in, but 2 really active people. A second plague doctor. One of them in the Empress information, but 2 double claims. This is sitting in between 2 different outcasts, but either of these could be the Chancellor that made the other one. This Bombardier is obviously always good. Maybe didn't even need to flip this. This saying counterclockwise. Oh, wait a minute. No, these are always good. We have a shaman. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. We have this enlightened, but we know that this has to be good. So this enlightened could be pointing at the Empress, at which point it's wham bam, but it could also certainly be the enlightened with either Plague Doctor, and that also checks out. If it's the enlightened, it would be with the Plague Doctor in seat 8, but I think all of this comes up to mean that this judge is always good. Now, always good does not mean that it always has correct information. 2 Plague Doctors is pretty easy to cheese. You just use one Plague Doctor to check the other. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to use Plague Doctor to check. You can use it on a Plague Doctor or on the Bombardier. Not corrupted, which means this one has to be good, which means the only thing that this is going to tell us is one card that is not evil. And it's going to tell us that 1 is evil, which means 1 is good. We already knew that. We also know that this is our Chancellor. Oh, this was actually really good to kill first. If this was the Shaman, then this was always the Chancellor, because the Chancellor would need to be next to the Bombardier or Plague Doctor. But because this is the Chancellor, it also does mean that this is wrong, but this could be our corrupted information from the Plague Doctor. Let's not forget about that. But I think it's a 50-50 between the Enlightened and the Empress, but anything could be corrupted. I mean, how could this technically be corrupted too? No, because if this is corrupted, this is evil. No, it could be 8 and 7. It could totally be 8 and 7. With 4 being corrupted. I'm not going to look at the chat for a second because I think you've potentially already solved the puzzle before me. Okay, no, you're just saying fortune teller. So I said I'm not going to look at the chat and then just read the chat message. But yeah, that's the tricky part about this. Yeah, we do still have 3 outstanding pieces of information to solve. I'm just trying to figure out, because one piece of information on the board will be corrupted. And then both of the fortune tellers can't be corrupted. At least one of the fortune tellers needs to be good. But, like, do you want to use the fortune teller to... I think actually the best way to do this is to use the judge first and just use the judge on the Bombardier. Now, if this is telling the truth, we know it's not corrupted nor evil, so now it's a 50-50. So now what we do is we use fortune teller on enlightened Bombardier, and we learn false. And then I think we use fortune teller on enlightened Bombardier again, and now we learn true. So now that we know that one of these 2 is corrupted, that means that both of these will always have good information. So now there's no chance for this Empress to be corrupted, which means, I believe, that this Empress has to be evil, making this our Plague Doctor corrupted. This is true, and this is our Shaman. Earlier today, you got damaged when slaying a wretch. Is that a new update? No, it is just a mechanic that I never remember is in the game, because I don't do it often enough. Awkwardly, I tried to do it at the end of a video recently. It was the end of the Knitter video, right? We had all of those evil slayers. It was like Evil Slayer, Wretch, Evil Slayer, Wretch, Evil Slayer. So I used the Slayers to check them against the Wretches. But I did that kind of thinking it wasn't going to work. If it did work, yes, I would have just taken damage. I just forgot about it because it's not something that I ever do, because why would you? But yeah, in that instance, we just had a bunch of Evil Slayers. I did get there. Yes, indeed. And yeah, slaying Wretches is actually just bad, and it doesn't come up super often, so I forget about it. We don't have a Scout. We don't have a Gem Crafter. We don't have a Confessor. Confessor is kind of funny because it is a Puka puzzle. Yeah, sorry about that, Dark Kirby God. Do we wish to Gemcraft? I think that Gemcraft is fine. It's a little more textured than Confessor, for sure. Yeah, I think Confessor's a little too free. I'll go Gemcrafter. Oh. I can undo it. I can undo my choice, or we can pick a poet. Maybe a poet will give us a Confessor. I've actually never seen a poet say, I am dizzy. No, it probably can't. That would be funny, though, if a poet just said, I am dizzy. 2 votes for Confessor. A little bit of lag on YouTube, unfortunately. But I'll take a poet here, just to inject some randomness into our final village. And more than randomness, we have the Puka Poisoner Drunk setup. So 3 evils, 4 corruptions. Yeah, no democracy here. There's no mayor character, right? I think that's in some modded packs, but unfortunately, no democracy prevailing today. But yes, potentially as many as 7 pieces of false info on this board, which is kind of crazy. Do you think a PvP game mode would work with this game? Funny enough, I did think about it recently, because I was just trying to think of like interesting ideas for collaborative content. No. I don't think so. Certainly not PvP. Well, actually, that's not true. It's a puzzle game. So you could always have PvP in a puzzle game by having 2 players solve the same puzzles and seeing who does it better or faster. So that's possible. But, I mean, maybe, yeah, you can, like, corrupt cards in their village or something. Okay, never say never. It's definitely possible. And yeah, you could like stop one of their cards from flipping real quick, or determine, like, draft the evils for your opponent while also paying attention to what villagers they're drafting. Maybe that actually could work and be a little bit silly. But I wouldn't expect to see that. Yeah, exactly. Puzzle games can be competitive against each other. I just wouldn't expect that to be worth the time to put it in. And then you're also dealing with servers and that kind of stuff too. So there's different logistical challenges. Draft mode, but you draft your opponent's villagers instead. Okay, yeah, you could just draft the villagers. And then race to the final village. You could probably even do that one specifically, just as a content creator. Or like just with your friends. Like, you both just stream to each other on Discord, and then when your opponent is making draft decisions, you have to stop what you're doing and tell them which card to pick. So it's a big advantage to like complete the first puzzle, because then you get to totally derail them. You're like thinking of the solution to your puzzle, and then they're like, pick one, this or that, and then pick one, this or that. And you like, it would be tough because you'd have to stop doing your own puzzle. You couldn't just be like, hold on, I want to finish my puzzle first. So it would have to be like, okay, I'm drafting, cover your screen or something like that. So that way you get to like focus up on what is actually, like, you get to like press your advantage. But then you're like distracted, and then you go back to the puzzle that you were just halfway through solving, and that could be a lot of fun. Yeah, so most of the pieces of information in this puzzle could be incorrect. We do have 20 health, but I want to try to get through this without spending that 20 health. We do have both of these outcasts as well, so part of me does want to find the doppelganger at some point. That could be it, but of course, they're saying different things. 2 pairs of evil means all evils in a row. Okay. All evils in a row. So something around here? Closest evil is counterclockwise. Yeah, these could be all of our evil team. Maybe there's no puka corruption. This is the drunk. This is also the drunk. This could be evil and the poisoner corrupting this. We do have another double claim. So I was going to say it's not going to be easy to sort out the double claims, but at this point, because of the doppelganger, at this point we have 3 double claims. So if we find one more double claim, we have found our evil teams. It's just the knitters, potentially. Yeah, that actually might just work, that it's the knitters or the full evil team. It is. Wow. So, wait, did I never draft a knitter? Maybe. After doing that my last video was literally Whoops All Knitters, and now we get Whoops All Knitters as the evil team. We couldn't have that in the last video, but we have 4 double claims. We are allowed to have 1 double claim, which means we have 3 more. So I think we might see all knitters. It is... I don't think anything else is possible. Okay, I never drafted a knitter. Well, that's a little bit of a spoiler here, but so I think I was going to say that if we had 2 good knitters, we could have 2 minion knitters. Let's actually mark minions red. And then this could be Puka drunk. That is technically possible. But here's what it does mean. Most of these are bad. Oh, and this is also saying 2 pairs of evil. Yeah, that's the reason that I really like this as the evil setup, both of these being evil, because then we have 1 pair of evil and all knitters are wrong. I think that just makes the most sense. We do have to figure out where the puka is, and I think one thing about this puzzle that could be kind of interesting is trying to figure out which is the puka before flipping anything. This is guaranteed to be correct in this scenario. This is also then correct. So this is always one of our evils. One of these 2 has to be the drunk, and this has to be one of our evils. So that would make this the drunk. And then this is the poisoner. That would make this the puka. This is pointing away. This is pointing at 2 townsfolk. So I think because of this, 6 and 9 can't both be evil. Correct. Yeah. I think that means that this is the poisoner corrupted, this is the poisoner, this is the twin minion, this is the puka, this is the drunk. These are both corrupted. So we can use the judge on the gem crafter. We'll learn that 1 is lying because they're poisoner corrupted, meaning that's the puka, that's the poisoner, and that is our twin minion. One of the knitters could be a doppelganger. Yes, we could have had both of these. Well, no. We could have had a doppelganger. No. So theoretically, count-wise, one, well, other than a knitter never being an in-play card, which, sure. That I think is just something that needs to get ironed out with this game mode. But other than the knitter being an in-play card, the doppelganger, like I said, it could have been minion, doppelganger, villager. And that's possible. However, with this information, 2 pairs of evil, 2 pairs of evil, 2 pairs of evil, evils are not adjacent to each other. That would mean, oh, okay, so it could have been this was the doppelganger because this has the different piece of information, and then one of these 3 would have had to be a corrupted villager while the other 2 were minions. No, yeah, nobody's blaming you for sure. But yeah, that's just like a weird quirk of deck building mode. And I think that could we have found a solution where exactly one of these is a corrupted villager and then the other 2 are evil? That would also mean that this and this are always the puka and the drunk. Let me clear out all of these. I'm just trying to find a backward solution. So this would have to be corrupted. I'm going to mark this as green. And then these would still be evil, but not necessarily the puka. Oh, wait, yeah. No, not necessarily minions, but they would have to, because they can't be the puka. And the puka has to be with the drunk on here, which means this information would be wrong, and it shouldn't be wrong. This information would be right, and it shouldn't be right, or wrong, and it shouldn't be wrong. Actually, no, it could be right, pointing at the poisoner. This is the drunk. This was the puka. This was corrupted. This was actually just correct. And then this would have been right when it should have been wrong. So some of the things would have broken down, but yeah, it was kind of tough for the doppelganger to sit in with this, which is why I didn't look at it, because 3 of the pieces of information all said the same thing, which meant that had to be the wrong information. And from there, it felt pretty obvious that these 2 were the evils sat next to each other. Oh, that was the other thing I wanted to look at, though. Wait a minute. This could have been evil, and this could have been the villager. That's what it was. And then these could have been the evils sat next to each other. This could have been the poisoner corrupting this villager, and then this would have been correct, which would have solved that aspect of the puzzle. This would have then been wrong, so this is what would have broken down. But there was almost an alternative solution there that was pretty cool. Hopefully all of that made sense. Oh, then the drunk would still be right. Unfortunately. It wouldn't be as right as it was before, but it would still be pointing at the puka. Is there... Yeah, and there's no way the puka can be in the knitter information unless the drunk is also in there too. Let's play another one here, and I don't know if we'll do this any differently. But yeah, let's just play another round of deck building mode before I end off the stream. I think I've got exactly enough time to do one more run here. So feel free to weigh in on which of these villagers you'd like to see me draft. We can go for an architect or a poet to start off. I was trying to think if there was any other like interesting way to run this while I'm doing the live stream here. I thought I had something for a split second while I was doing the previous run, but I can't think of it. I think the architect is cool. Like, it's a totally different type of information, more than just like pointing at stuff. An architect that points at its own side usually feels so different than an architect that points at the other side. But the fact that like things in the center kind of count strangely can be fairly weird as far as figuring it out. But strength-wise, sometimes it's very powerful information. I have a feeling a second architect is probably going to win this vote. But feel free to weigh in. I think it would definitely be interesting to play with a second architect, because then you can like more reliably trust the information here. So we'll see how all of that winds up working out. Now we've got a hunter or an empress. That one was a democratic vote. We had some late votes in there, but the architect definitely won that. Hunter or empress. I think the empress could actually be kind of interesting. Another architect vote here. I think the empress could work interestingly with the architect, but looks like the hunters have it. Actually, is it tied? I think it's tied 2-2 now. Yeah, two empresses, 2 hunters. Hunter works well with architect. Sure. Okay, hunter it is. Yeah, it's interesting. I feel like the Empress has more synergy with the architects, because like, what if it points all to one side? Because you know only maximum 1 can be. Whereas like the architects could be pointing in either direction. I'm gonna send it here on medium. I think we're always voting medium. Druid, please. We got 1 vote for Druid, 2 votes for medium. We'll see. I'll give another second for people to weigh in then. I thought the medium was going to crush it. A second Druid vote has hit the village. Okay. I'll wait for a tiebreaker. Yes, Empress and Bishop are OP for sure. And what could the Druid... Druid's fine. Okay. Druid it is. Witness Dreamer. We got 5 voters in the chat, so I'll wait till I hear 3 people vote the same thing. Oh, I just realized I am not streaming. It's fine. I could switch to streaming Demon Bluff. Most of you are watching on YouTube here anyways, but I'm currently, the stream will say that I'm streaming Once Upon a Galaxy still. We've got 1 witness, 2 witness, 2 dreamers. Okay, all of these votes are close. And witness. Okay. Fortune teller and lover this go round. Now we might have 6 people voting. We'll just say first thing to get 3 votes. So speed is a factor. 1 fortune teller, 1 lover. And we have 2 architects. So lover's interesting with all the architects though too. Okay. Ooh, shaman. We could have a bunch of architects here now. Looks like lover had it. I did take the lover, right? Yeah, okay. So let's get to flipping. One evil adjacent to me. Technically, we have a solution. We know that one of these are evil. One of these are evil. And we know that all of these are good. However, if we just flip over these... Well, if we learn both sides are equally evil, then we'll know that it's 6. But if we learn the right side is more evil, then it's not super useful to flip one of these cards. Are the people of YouTube sabotaging my plans of intentionally drafting weak? Maybe, yeah, they just want to see some fun puzzles and stuff. 2 and 6. I think I'll flip 2 and 6 and see if we can come up with any logical inconclusions. Okay, it's one of these two. It's a 50-50. Which means both of these are always good. But the thing is, if I flip a card and learn Architect, then it was not worth it to flip a card. I think I'm just supposed to start stabbing here. What do you think? Should I take the 50-50 and probably get it right? Or should I try to gain more information and see if we flip over like a hunter? Am I literally looking for hunter specifically? What if I flip over another lover? That could actually be good. All right, I'll try to perfect solve. 2 cards away. So it's this one. Right? Why am I doubting myself? Yes, it's this one. It's a double claim. Shaman could not necessarily mean that this is a double claim, but they are pointing at each other. Which means, like, they can never be pointing at different things. So it just has to be the shaman. I don't know why I was doubting myself. I'm assuming we're going to take a Slayer here. The votes were pretty split, too, on whether I should gamble or whether I should try to solve. The flip was a good idea, but there's a lot of times where flipping just tells me absolutely nothing because it's just an architect. And, like, there was a chance that 3 of the 4 face-down cards in that puzzle were architects that just said the right side is more evil. And then I just would have learned absolutely nothing. We are once again split here 2 and 2 for Slayer and Confessor. Next chat is going to get it. 2 chats came in not nearly simultaneously. So we're now tied 3 and 3. And we are going to need Amber, just another Joe Star, to take us home. Yeah, that could have been bad for me. if that was bad. Flop instead of flip then. I don't think we're flopping. I think we're doing some nice work here. 22 people hanging out, watching some Demon Bluff. Oh, you already voted Slayer? Oh, you just voted... Oh, I just missed it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, or I just missed that was you. Okay, we need somebody to tie the vote then. I've got 3 votes for Slayer, 3 votes for Confessor. If nobody votes, then I will give it to Confessor, which voted earlier. The 3rd vote for Confessor came in quicker. That'll be the tiebreaker. Oh, there's some weird mind games to that. You want to be the final vote. Yeah, we will go for a Confessor here then. And I could throw in a Baker. No sense on... Well, I can't heal. This is only the first village. Baker or Skip. Feel free to weigh in on this as well. Flipping a coin is fine. Want to bake some architects? I haven't seen... I'm trying to think. In a shaman village, you could get a scenario where 2 bakers both claim to be the same thing. And that's kind of a neat scenario. ZKI. Does ZKI mean skip? I'm going to say that ZKI means skip. Zgip. Yeah. Now we've got Confessor, Bombardier, Plague Doctor. One evil adjacent to me already. Could be Plague Doctor Corruption. We're going to have decent tabs on where this Chancellor could be. One card away from closest evil. That could be the Chancellor. And that's our Bombardier. So, could be possible. This is correct. This is our Chancellor. This is our Bombardier. Let's see what our other options are. 2 cards away from closest evil, pointing at the other Hunter. That still makes all of this check out. Let's think if there's other possibilities. No. We have a double claim. One of these 2 Hunters needs to be evil. And this one's pointing at this one. Wait. What if this is Plague Doctor Corrupted, this is evil, then what would this one be talking about? This is our Chancellor. Got to think it out a little bit before we make our stab. But it's 3. Was 3 the Bombardier? Is that what you're saying? It's definitely 3. I mean, it had a Hunter pointing at it. Must have been 3, right? Knitter, Fortune Teller, Alchemist. 3 choices this time. 1 vote for Alchemist. The final puzzle is a Ba. So, Alchemist not helping us there, which is why just another Joestar is voting for Alchemist, because it will not be good, but the Alchemist has it. We are going to have an Alchemist on the final puzzle. We could have another... Wait, did we take a Baker? Oh, we skipped. We skipped, so we probably aren't taking another Baker. All right, so Poet, Baker, remove card, or skip. We've got 1 vote Baker. This will be our first Poet or our first Baker. Or, no, remove card's never going to get the votes because... But it is interesting to remove a card when you have 2 Architects, because then it's like somewhat more likely. So we've got 1 vote Poet, 1 vote Baker. No, 2 votes Baker, actually. And I think I will say this. If we get to the final village and there's something that I haven't drafted because I haven't been like fully paying attention, I might be paying more attention now because we are... Basically what I'm getting at is I don't want to solve the puzzle based off like disguising something that we haven't drafted. Remove Alchemist, a 2nd vote for Poet, so we are tied with 2 votes Baker, 2 votes Poet. Yeah, it's like kind of a spoiler. I might realize it too. But yeah, Poet is just completely random info. So could be another Architect. We'll see how it all shakes out. Puppeteer, Minion. Right side more evil. An Architect that points at its own side is typically good, but in this case it could be the Puppet. I kind of like Architect Puppet here. But it could be wrong. This could be the Puppeteer, or it could be the Drunk. No one was corrupted around me. It is not the Drunk. Unless it is, and this is evil. Oh, wait. Oh gosh. Evil. No. Drunk. Evil. And then 2 evils over here from the Puppeteer. Interesting. 1 evil, says the Lover. 1 was affected by an evil, which really just means Puppet. But it could be the Drunk. Wow, I think there's a lot of things that are possible here still. I think almost anything's possible right now. Let's see if anything fully gives it away. Okay, that fully gives it away. Sitting next to an Alchemist claiming no one means that we have to start by stabbing here. both of these are true information, so I don't think it's discernible which is evil now, but one of them is evil. Evils are not adjacent to each other. Oh, well, this is a lying minion. Oh, one was affected by an evil, but this could be the drunk. It could be the drunk. Let's see if we can find a drunk elsewhere. Evils are not adjacent to each other. This is our drunk, which means this is not the drunk, which means this is our puppet. Yeah, definitely 1 and 2 at that point. Do we have a Slayer? We do not have a Slayer. Do we have a Scout? No. Do we have a Bard? No. All 3 new cards, Slayer, Scout, and Bard. Make your choice. I think what I'm going to do is edit these videos down a little bit and turn them into YouTube videos the next 2 days. Like cutting out some of this dead air. I'm not entirely sure what we're doing here yet, but let's... 4 could have been a drunk. 4 could have been the drunk. Yes. It could have been the drunk, but it would have been the drunk next to an Alchemist 0. But it's possible. It's possible. But that would mean that the Alchemist 0 is specifically the minion. And then the lover's information would have been wrong. So, I think that would have unraveled fairly easily. Evils are not next to each other, trust us, the evil team and a drunk. I think the Bard is weaker in this case. So let's see what the current votes are. 1 vote Scout, 1 vote Bard. Then Undernet Broker voted Scout, so it's 2-1 Scout to Bard. 3-1 Scout to Bard. 3-2. Okay, we have 3 votes for Scout. Let's ship it. No point in healing. Slayer, remove, or skip. The Alchemist could have been a puppet, but if the Alchemist is a puppet, then there's still no drunk, because then the puppet is telling the truth, so then 4 is always a minion and never the drunk. I think Bard is already decent, but with the Alchemist, it's actually very good. Yeah, those 2 things in conjunction could definitely be powerful. We've got skip, remove something, heal 6. Can I heal 6? Oh, I can actually heal 6. Okay. That was, I had to click that just because I was curious if it actually worked, because we were at full health. So I did not even know if you could press that button, but turns out you can. I basically skipped. I actually made, if we're looking for me to make the worst play, I made a much worse play because I skipped while also losing 15 gold for absolutely no reason. So now we have both a drunk and the doppelganger. And we've got a good confessor right off the rip. Okay. The druid. The druid's going to be funky with a doppelganger shaman board. Let's get flipping. Oh gosh, unless the druids are the doppelgangers and shamans. Oh no. Okay. So we have 3 double claims. And we can only have 2 double claims. Wait, no, we have 4 double claims. The Empresses. We can have 2 double claims, but we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, funky. We know that this is good. We have to consider the idea that the drunk could hop in with the minions. So that could account for some other interesting things. And then how do we use the druids? This is a great druid puzzle. We have 2 hidden outcasts, which is as much druid value as you can ask for. If we unpack this Empress information, we probably can solve it. Both are pointing at 3 and 6. This one's pointing back at 9. Huh. 3, 6, 9. Okay. And then 3, 6, 7. But very comparable information. Yeah, we've got drunk and doppelganger here. We try to have the druids miss. So that's kind of tough, too. The druids probably shouldn't check the druids. And they should probably all check the same information. Okay. Hunter in 8 is evil. Maybe. It could be good, though. I guess I'll start there, with this hunter being good. So, it's obviously pointing right at this druid. And then it's claiming that all of these are good. I think that this is still possible. That would mean this is good. It would also mean that this is good. And then these are evil or drunks. I think this just works out. Oh, left side more evil. So this could be the drunk. Yeah. And then one of these 2 druids is evil. And these are the doppelgangers. You tell me something and then I just want to just to prove you wrong. But I do believe that this solution totally works. We've got our doppelganger / shaman pair. And then we've got a doppelganger / shaman pair. I think this is actually an interesting puzzle. I'm going to let the chat go by, and you guys are all welcome to talk it out. I guess we can race, but I think there's a bunch of solutions here. I think that this solution is totally possible. I guess we should try to figure it out without using the druids. I'm just debating, should I try to figure it out without looking at the chat at all? And I think that that's probably the most interesting thing for me to do, because this is actually a cool puzzle. And it's not necessarily useful if there's just the solution and then I go, oh, okay, sure. But I wouldn't say that this hunter has to be evil. We can look at a world where it's evil. That's just going to mean that, one of these or something could be evil. But I think that where I want to start is with this Empress information, which has 3 pieces of overlapping information, 3, 6, and 9. Which means between 3, 6, and 9, 2 of them have to be good. What's up, Muslim Rafi? Was able to catch your chat slowly through there, but not reading chats otherwise. 3, 6, and 9 has to have 2 pieces of good information. It could have all 3. Let's consider this for a second, too. All 3 goods, which means evil and evil. That would make this wrong. Which I suppose is making it the drunk. And then this is just the shaman doppelganger. And then the left side is more evil. Wow, this is also possible. So my first scenario here, I'll say, is 6. And then plus either 2 or 4. I don't know if this is better than doing tally marks on it. But if I wanted to check for this, I would look for a drunk here, but the problem is that's also what I would get in this scenario because most of these druids are evil. This scenario is 5. I can do a slightly better 5. 5 plus 7. And then we can see where the drunken doppelgangers are there. There is another scenario, though, and that's one where just 1 of 6 and 5 is evil. I'm sorry, 1 between 9 and 3 is evil. I'm curious if I can make that work, too. So in that scenario, both of these are good. This is good. This hunter is just evil, which definitely makes a lot of sense for this hunter to just be evil because there's so many other possible evil candidates around it. It'd still be 3 or 9 in this scenario. It's got to be at least one of them, right? I think there's actually too many outstanding possibilities right now. Because this could be evil or drunk. Actually, I feel like this architect... It's funny how many scenarios this architect is like drunk or evil in. Not always, of course. But a lot of this Empress information pushes us over on this side, and then, of course, we have the Confessor. This is evil, this is drunk. I'll jot that down. 8, 9. And this could also simply be good. And then this is evil. And then it's not the left side, it's actually both sides equally evil. So I'm going to say that this is 9 or 3. What's crazy is there's no overlap between any of these solutions. We have come up with solutions now where every single card can be evil except for 1. Right? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wow. Okay, so I've not narrowed it down at all, but in 2 of these scenarios, the druids are good. That is this scenario. Actually, let's do it like this. This scenario and this scenario, the druids are good. So what I want to do is I want to use the druids. Yeah, 1 is the good one. I want to use the druids in a way that distinguishes between these 2 scenarios. So when it was 5 and 7 evil, all of the druids were the doppelgangers. This was correct, and this was the drunk, right? Yeah. So 5, 7 had 8 as the drunk, and then 6, 7, 4, 2, the doppelgangers in some capacity. But why I don't like checking for that is this scenario where the doppelgangers are evil will also show that we have the doppelgangers as the druids, which is kind of indiscernible. The other thing we could try to do is find the drunk in 6, 2, 4 and 8, 7, 3. I believe 8, 7, 3, in one scenario, the drunk was the architect. And I don't remember where the drunk would be in the other scenario. Let's look at the drunk for 624 real quick. 624. Oh, the drunk was also in the druids, right? This was correct. This was correct. This was correct. This was correct. Yes, the drunk is in the druids. Oh, no. The drunk was the architect. Yeah, the drunk is the architect here. Always. And in this, the drunk was the architect half the time. When it was 8-3, where is the drunk? This is correct. This is correct. This is correct. There is no drunk. 9 is always good. Yeah, there's no drunk in this scenario because the druids can't be the drunks. The druids all have to be good. Okay. So let's actually scribble this out green. So in this scenario and this scenario, the drunk is 3. However, in this scenario, the druids will lie. So either the drunk is in seat 3 or the drunk is in seat 8. Five, 7, where's the doppelganger? Doppelganger's the druid. This one, these are both good with each other. And these will lie and say it's the drunk. Okay, I think I need to check the 2 hunters and the confessor. I think it's probably 2 evil druids, but I think what we have to do here is hunter, hunter, confessor. No outcasts, which means it's the evil druid scenario. It is probably this in some capacity. But oh gosh, wait, no, this could be right. This doesn't need to be the doppelgangers. These could be the doppelgangers. All right, well, I'm going to check the same information. No outcasts. No outcasts. Well, now it feels like this is true. And this legitimately has no outcasts in it. It could just be because it's 8 and 3. How do we have all 3 druids saying the same thing? I think the druids are good now. I think it is 8 and 3. I think that the first thing that was said in the chat is actually correct. So in this scenario, this is correct. The druids contain the outcasts. Both of the empresses are correct because they're looking at the architect. All 3 druids say the same thing. Five can be doppelganger. Right. And yeah, I think that the doppelganger shaman pair is the druids right now, but there is a chance that these are doppelgangers and then these are shaman pairs. But then, or these are the doppelgangers. No, I think no outcast always has to be right. I think all 3 saying no outcast on the hunters always has to be right because if this was the shaman pair, like if they're not the... Wait. All three druids are saying the same thing. And there's no scenario where this is the whole evil team and like this is the drunk, because then this information is wrong. Even if it makes all of this other stuff correct. I think that's when it comes down to it. I don't think we can have a drunk Empress here. I think it's just 8 and 3. I'm seeing a lot of different speculations in the chat, and I didn't look at all the chats earlier on, but I'm seeing a lot of trying to solve as if there's 3 evils. So I just wanted to make sure, like, but there's nothing wrong with the 8-3 solution. And I don't think I have seen some people say like, oh, some other things. We can look at some other ideas before we stab, but I don't believe that there's anything wrong with this solution. Could there be other solutions that are also correct? I failed Village 60 earlier because I calculated with a puka when it was just a ba. Were you playing blind or you just blinded yourself by accident? If so, sorry about that. I think Druid Shaman plus Doppelganger pair and Empress Drunk. So if the Empress is drunk, you are saying that it's just not going to work. But if the Empress is drunk, that means the other Empress is evil. So then you're saying all of these are good, and this is the other evil. Oh, sure, this does also work. I see now. Okay. You think 8-3 is impossible, and it's 8-5. I think that both of these are possible, though. So I see the other solution here now, and yeah, this was... why was this... Oh, I see. Wait, no. I don't think this works. This doesn't work. This doesn't work. Yeah, I looked at this earlier. 8 can't be evil with 9, and this be the drunk, because then this Empress has correct information pointing at the other Empress. And if this is the drunk... Oh, could this be the drunk and then this is the Empress? This works. Okay. So it's never 8-9, but I did discount 8-5. Okay, so it looks like it's always 8. And then it's either 3 and 5. But because it's always 8, we can stab here, and if we find a Chancellor, that is pretty big information. If we find a Chancellor, then this has to be the drunk. No, if we find a Chancellor, this could be the Doppelganger. Oh, am I just missing something totally obvious? I am. We need there to be another... There's another double claim. There's 4 double claims in this village, and we can only account for 2 of them. Oh, okay. Yeah, so this is the Chancellor, this is the drunk, and this is the shaman. That will do it. Why did I miss this the first time? Just because I forgot how many double claims there were allowed to be. But yeah, that is going to be the shaman there every time. Okay, well, you definitely helped me with that one. I was not getting through it. I do wonder, like, that was a fun and interesting puzzle. I think that this is, like, cool interactively, but I do wonder what you lose from playing the game with Twitch chat. That's always been a little bit of a fear of mine, but that's why I wanted to experiment with this and and figure out exactly what is working and not working about it. You told me, Zaya, let me scroll up. What did you say? You said, oh, Empress, Drunk, and Evil. Yeah, okay, you said it. You said it. I wanted to scroll up and see what else you said. I still think having the druids not check themselves was right. Because if the druids checked themselves, then if they were evil, they always would have just said, oh, one of us is a doppelganger. And if they're good, they always just would have said, oh, one of us is a doppelganger. So I don't think that that would have gotten us anywhere. Looks like all of the votes are for Slayer here. And now we can take a Bard, a Knitter, or we can remove a card. Votes are coming in for Knitter now. Oh no, that's a vote for the Knitter previously, I think. It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell because there was a Knitter next to the Slayer too. I think I'm going to go for the Knitter here just because I won't be able to tell which votes were previously for the Knitter and which votes are for the Knitter now. So I'm just going to grab the Knitter. Yeah, too tough to tell. Twin Minion Village. Well, this is a lot easier. There was one corruption around me. It's possible. It is definitely possible. Twin Minion is 1 card away from closest evil. I am 3 away. Yeah, it feels like these could be evil. A double claim. These could be liars too. Okay. The Alchemist cannot be Plague Doctor corrupted. Oh, that is huge information, actually. The Slayer's kind of insane here. We can Slayer check. Oh, I guess let's do this to start off with. You're good. One of these 2 Alchemists has to be evil. The Architect telling me left side is kind of crazy. I think it's these 2. But actually, these 2 is still possible. Okay. It's a 50-50 either way, and here's what's kind of wild. We can use the Slayer to check, but I'm actually not going to believe that if the Slayer fails, I might think that the Slayer is Plague Doctor corrupted. I'll go here. Okay. Slayer got it. That means that none of these are Plague Doctor corrupted now. It also means that this Hunter is correct. Oh, right. A corruption was cured by the Alchemist. Always. You're right. Yeah, I always forget that the Alchemist actually cures the corruption. There is, yeah, okay, so never mind. I was thinking like, oh, could this have been, for a split second, I was like, oh, could this be evil? And then this is actually still corrupted, but then it would have been a 0. So, yeah, that actually just means that there's no Plague Doctor corruption at this point because they're both saying 1. Because that hits every possible spot on the board. So because this one is lying, this one had to be telling the truth. So this is good. That also means information is going to be good. Oh, the left side can never be more evil, and there's no Plague Doctor corruption. So it just has to be this. Yeah, that makes all the other information check out then as well. Looks like this will also be a new draft choice. Gemcrafter, Bishop, Medium, and this will be our final pick. Final pick of the video. There was one corruption around me. Exactly. That is big info. Yeah, and it always has to be true with how those were sequenced. That was a cool puzzle. Medium has the first vote. Bishop, Gemcrafter. Is Gemcrafter just a worse medium? Yes, I think it might actually just be. Yeah, Gemcrafter just says somebody is good, whereas medium... Yeah, medium, I guess, is just like straight up better in a lot of ways, because when a medium is lying and when it's telling the truth, sometimes it's more obvious. In theory, though, a medium can be evil. Here's where the medium gets tricky. A medium can be evil, point at a drunk, and say, no, that's the bishop. And then it kind of disguises its information a little bit, because it points at a bishop and says that it's a bishop, but it's actually a drunk. 1, 2, 3. I think we have 4 votes here for medium, actually. Yeah, we've got 4 votes for medium. So medium it is, and we could immediately remove the medium. We have not made any mistakes, thanks to a little help from chat, for sure. We could take an Oracle here. That's going to be a new card, or we could remove a card. I think people are going to vote Oracle, just because it'll make the final puzzle as interesting as possible. No, we've got to vote for remove, so that way we potentially play into the double architects. We could remove Confessor. Let's remove the Confessor, right? Is that real? If the Confessor is real, I think it's a good remove. I'm seeing 2 votes for remove. Was thinking remove Confessor or remove something else. It's a tricky part about voting remove is you kind of have to heal 6 again. Another vote for heal 6. Yeah, I mean, heal 6 and skip, I'll put you both in the same category. But currently we've got 3 votes for remove. Oh no, 2 votes for remove and 2 votes for skip, aka heal 6. You could remove something different, but I imagine... I mean, I guess, yeah, for now, just vote for remove. All right, that's 3 votes for remove. Let's say that the removes have it. We can always change our mind later. What are we removing? This is going to be tough to come to a consensus. We can't remove the minions. I'd love to remove the twin minion and the minion, but unfortunately we cannot. So here's some options. Druid, Slayer... Alchemist is going to be like fairly vanilla if we have Alchemist and Confessor on the final puzzle. Yeah. I mean, they're also interesting if we hit the Poisoner or a Drunk. So, and it's Ba, so there's some ambiguity there. Yeah, there could always be a Drunk, or there might not be a Drunk. So maybe the Alchemist does have some play, in fact. Witness might be kind of lame. Vote to remove either Druid or Lover. I'm fine with either. Druid or Lover remove. Architect remove. Oh, we've got an Architect hater. That's 3 for Confessor. We'll be seeing ya. And this is going to be the final village. I could maybe actually do 1 more for the stream, but this is at least the final village for this puzzle. I do think I'll have time for 1 more. Yeah, I got time for 1 more here. So, yeah, we'll do that after this. But for now, we've got a Wretch, Doppelganger, and probably a Drunk. Probably a Wretch, Doppelganger, and a Drunk. 5 is a real Alchemist. There were 2 corruptions around me, which means both the Drunk and the Poisoner. That's kind of crazy. This is probably a lie, and where the medium can be worse. If this is the Drunk, but that's a wild thing to say. I'll flip here next, randomly. I mean, I shouldn't stab the knight if we have a potential Drunk and a potential poisoned. But I know we did not draft a knight. I've looked at the board too much throughout this video. They can't cure the Drunk. Sure, but there are still 2 corruptions around them. So one of them would still be corrupted if they're the drunk. But that's definitely a good shout out. Yeah, we were looking at this board so much that I kind of knew that I might have a decent tab on what was and wasn't in play. Left side more evil, another night. All right. That's going to mean that the 5 is probably just the real alchemist. Poisoner's 3 cards away from closest evil. 1, 2, 3. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Or this could be poisoned. Yeah, this could be poison or poisoning here. That would be out of range of the alchemist. Actually, wouldn't it be possible? Wait, but if this was the poisoner, this would be... not corrupted. This is actually still going to be an interesting puzzle. Yeah, they got to fix that. We'll do one more. Lilith. Hello, Lilith. I have not seen Lilith as the final village in a while. 5 could be the drunk, lying doppelganger. I didn't look at the rest of the puzzle. Was the rest of the puzzle interesting? I could go back and look at it. I literally just stabbed the knights, and that was it. Yeah, there were potentially interesting solutions that could have come out from that puzzle, but seemed like that's not what we got. We did have an interesting druid puzzle last time, so I am leaning druid, but others are leaning confessor. Confessor only run. Let's do it. That's going to be fun, I'm sure. Lover or scout? Lover, confessor is probably terrible. Oh, we actually did get 3 votes in for druid eventually, but confessor beat it there. Yeah, I think that scout plus confessor is probably the most interesting. After this run, I am going to go get some dinner. And I think that this will... I spent so much time playing this today. I think that this will probably potentially wind up counting for my video tomorrow, too. We'll see. Yeah, confessor plus lover is really strong. I agree. I think it would be too strong as well. So, scout it is. Bishop or jester? Yeah, scout was winning that one easily. Yeah, I'll have to figure out what I'm doing for content tomorrow. It might just be like edited versions of this stream. The thing is, if I edit down this stream and make it into a video, then what I would basically be editing would be the time where you guys are talking. And I think that that is a really awkward part of this, is I'd be editing out what is making it interesting, which is the interaction with the chat. Jest is best. Now we're on to the lover and the hunter. But yeah, I'm really not sure how I will present this. So all of you have to watch it again to see how I did it. But also, yeah, I think that I'll probably wind up cutting all of you out. I do feel like that's what makes the better viewing experience later. Either I have to do that, or I have to do like a bunch of timestamps or something. I'm not totally sure. Hi, video guys. Yes, everybody say hello to YouTube. I'm definitely cutting out this part. No, it's moving a lot smoother now that the chat's a little bit more active too. I will say that. So Hunter, Lover, Hunter, Lover, Hunter. We'll give it to Hunter because they got 3 votes faster. We can't see, but I'm going to go ahead and select the Confessor for y'all. I think that's where y'all would have went with. Oh, did we go with the Hunter instead of the Lover? Bummer. Okay, Witness or Lover now. Yeah, Confessor was easy. I mean, I think same kind of thing as earlier. Like, I mean, a Hunter that points at a Confessor is also just as easy. But a Lover sometimes has more ambiguity because of the Poisoner or Chancellor potentially being next to them. Yeah, I already got the Confessor. That one was easy. I knew about that one. And looks like the Witnesses are rolling in. And we've got a Witch. So the Witness should say nothing. 3, 4, 6. So I know that 2 and 5 are good. Yeah, Twitch definitely is a little bit faster. That's interesting. That's definitely surprising to me. It all goes through this restream thing. So I'm surprised that one of them is faster over the other. I'm going to flip 4 next. Okay. I'm going to go for a juggle on the 2 cards not in the Empress info, which is 2, 5, and then I'll throw in 6. 0 evils, which means all of these are good, which means it's a 50-50 between 1 and 3. And it's 1. Which took me down a little bit of a goose chase. If this was simply a Confessor, that would have been a little bit easier. You solved the puzzle. You're that much ahead. An Architect or a Bishop. We don't have either of these for this run. Oh, one was out of play. Oh, okay. Okay. That's a fair way to solve the puzzle too, for sure. That's silly. Architect or Bishop here. We just play with both of them. We'll see what everyone's feeling. We got a vote for an Architect. We got 2 votes for an Architect, and that probably means no. Okay, the Bishop's clawing its way back into it. What is the Architect useful for? I feel like this is probably just going to come down to Confessors. The Bishop is really powerful with the Confessors, too. It's like the Architect might just tell you more of what you already know. Yeah, I'm going to go for Architect again here. And then Oracle and Medium are both brand new. We can't heal. So Oracle, Medium, or Skip. Skip is also an option. Medium. I think that Oracle might be fun here. But Skip, Save My Coin is also defendable. If you want double claims, I feel like buying stuff is good. I kind of like buying stuff just so that way we are less likely to solve the puzzle by evils claiming a completely out of play role. So 2 votes Medium, 2 votes Skip. I think I'm going to go Medium. Yeah, all right. Medium it is. Oh, we actually got a 3rd vote for Skip, but I skipped that comment, unfortunately. Democracy is dead. Puppeteer Doppelganger. Okay. Can't get tabs on the Doppelganger at all. 1 card away from closest evil already. So, Puppeteer. I'm sorry, Puppeteer or normal Puppeteer. But either way, it's a 50-50. And this can never be bad information. This can literally never be the Puppeteer, but it always has to be one of these 2. Fair point, but both of those two drafts use good evil with two confessors. Yeah, you almost have a solve. Wait, does that mean we haven't taken the hunter? No. Okay. I'm going to flip a card before realizing this. 2 is affected by an evil. That's a lie. Because this can never be the puppeteer creating the puppet here. So this is our puppet. Oh, it's a puppet talking about itself. Right. Oh, I didn't consider that. This is just good because this is the puppet. But this can still never be the puppeteer. I really thought this was going to be the puppeteer and this was going to be the puppet. But that kind of flipped it on me. And now we have Gemcrafter, Oracle, and Judge. I've heard the Oracle is too OP. The Judge is, honestly, pretty good. I sort of feel like in some ways the Judge is the most powerful role because you get to choose how you want to use it and it puts it into a 50-50 scenario. Like the Hunter points at 2 different things. So it's a 3-way. Number 7 was the doppelganger. I don't know. It didn't matter who was the doppelganger. But looks like the judges have it here still. Could get bacon. We could remove a card. Or we could skip/heal for 6. What is the baker when we have 2 confessors is still funny. Yeah. We never got to see that come to fruition last time, so baker double confessor. Baker. We could also remove the judge. I don't actually know if we can remove the judge. We'll pick up the baker. Minion, Poisoner, Rambler. 1 card away from closest evil. Shut up. Okay, that's what I was looking for. Jester's a double claim. I'm going to have to flip a few more, I think. We can also just use this Jester, and then if they tell me to shut up, that's really good info. There's a chance there's still another Rambler on the table, though. 5 was affected by an evil. That means that they were poisoned, but they can't be poisoned by you, nor by the Rambler if we only have 1 Rambler. This is wrong. This is always the Rambler, so I never flip it. This is always good. This is always good. This is always wrong information, which could mean it's poisoned by one of our Jester double claims. This Hunter's pointing at the Baker and could be the Poisoner that poisoned the Baker. Could be the Poisoner that poisoned the Baker. So we have enough cards that we know are always good. We just Jester check those. 0, that's correct. And 1, that is incorrect. You're in a double claim. You're the Poisoner. You were corrupted, which means you can never be the Poisoner. So this is our minion. That was good. Rambler game. Watch Lilith kill the Baker in the final village. Another Baker? Want to make that less possible? I think this is going to be a Baker vote here. Double Baker, double Confessor can be a silly option. And I know how I can get all of you involved in the video. You all can be in the thumbnail. So let me do this really quick. Everybody can be in the thumbnail. Okay. Amber, if you switch over to the YouTube stream and I load up the YouTube stream. Actually, I think I have it copy pasted, right? Yeah. So here's what I'm thinking. everybody say the word baker in the chat, and I will take a screenshot. Can I review this chat later? No, don't say hi. Don't say hi. Or you're saying hi because you're back. That's fine. Can I can pop out the chat. Will this be dark mode? No, Lux, you can do the thumbnail thing again where we vote for the thumbnail. Put our icons on the cards. Oh, that'd be a little bit more work. If you all just say Baker right now, yeah, I'll screenshot this and put it in the thumbnail. Perfect. You only get in once. Little not special. But I think that will work. And somebody did a baguette. That's cute. Great. Did everybody get in? Yeah, I think all the people that are here right now put in. Yeah, so like put all your icons on the cards like you're voting. That is also, I think, a really cute idea. And I could do that. Can I make this bigger? Can I zoom in here? I can. Okay. Cool. So now I have the asset. This part I definitely have to cut out of the video. Oh, now it's too big. All right. I'm sure I have it in there somewhere, though. Oh, wait. Let me just get it one more time. This is fine. Yeah, okay. I just need this screenshot. I just realized there was a chance that you guys were saying that and your chats were covering the asset that I wanted to screenshot for the thumbnail, which is silly. Now I'm super zoomed in on everything, but we should be good. Yes, I thought I could view the chat later on YouTube from the VOD, but now I'm sure I've got it. One vote. Yeah, I mean, we could have you guys voting, but everybody, like, whether or not we make all of you say Baker, I think that's a good thumbnail idea. Is I had Twitch chat vote on which villagers I picked or something, even though your YouTube chat. Poet, remove, or skip. Poet's always fun. I've also never seen a poet say, I'm dizzy, and I've never seen a poet say, I am the original poet. That would be really funny if the poet became a baker. Like, if a poet started using the baker abilities. Say cheese. Yes, you are Twitch chat. I'll probably give it to Poet here, but we'll see if we can get one more, because Poet is very fun and silly. Yeah. I'm trying to think of like what the potential implications of those things could be, but it would be a fun idea if just like one in every random bunches of times the poet did something like totally wacky. Like, don't make it as common. Make it like, 1 in 100 or 1 in 200 that the poet just does something totally out of pocket. We've got a drunk and a rambler because we've got a chancellor and a witch. Okay. We'll see if we have a double claim of rambler before we investigate here, but I think I've got the solve. 4 was affected by an evil. That means this is our drunk. Probably. Three cards away. They are also pointing at the knight. Oh, poet is slayer. Oh, I've never seen a poet be any act. Yeah, poets also can't be active abilities. shut up. It has to be... Oh, we actually just have 2 confessors. That did throw me off for a second. I was like, how do we possibly have a confessor on the same team as a rambler and the professor? So this can never be the witch. It also can never really be the drunk. So I think this is always good, and that probably means that 2 is then evil. Yeah. One of these 2 has to be the drunk. Oh, that's the drunk knight. Right. And this is our witch. Is this also a knight? Huh. A baker that got told to shut up. Which means this... Oh, this is still always a drunk. Huh. Weird. 4 was affected by an evil, so that's right. Wait. What are some other ways this is possible? I know I haven't looked at the Jester, but the Jester is only 2 away from the Hunter. I'm actually a little lost here. Because if this is the witch, this can't be the drunk. And then this would also be wrong. No, this is the drunk. It has to be. Adjacent to the Chancellor has to be the drunk. So this is always correct. What am I missing? I'm deliberately not looking at chat right now. Because I want to figure out what's going on weird in this puzzle myself. No. The only other thing I was thinking is like, okay, what if we have 2 drunks, and then that would mean the Rambler's wrong, so it's not all of that. I'm seeing all these messages pop up, and I really don't want to look at the chat right now in case someone else found a solution. So all of these have to be good. This has to be good. The Hunter, if it's evil, has correct information, so it has to be good. This has correct information, so it has to be good. Which means this has to be evil. But then the Hunter is wrong. Oh! Did you guys figure it out? A confessor always tells the truth. We have 2 confessors. So that threw me off. But a confessor always tells the truth, even if it's evil. So a Rambler gets to shut up an evil confessor still. This is not a bugged village. This is the game fully functioning as intended. This is just a very specific interaction that I believe I have yet to show off in my videos. Shout out Power Star if you're watching this, because I know we've talked about it in the comments, but yeah, so just to fully break it down, I'll read through all of the comments real quick here, but a confessor always tells the truth, which means a Rambler will always tell a confessor to shut up, even if it is corrupted, especially though, even if it's evil or good, of course, assuming that the Rambler is good. How does a corrupted confessor work with a Rambler? That I'm not sure. You had it, you shouted it. I see it. I see it there in all caps, but it can still be 9 because evil is telling the truth. Yes, that was the solution. And confessor, always truthful. Okay, so yeah, some people got it in the comments before me, which is why I did not want to look at the comments for sure. A little bit of a spoiler, but still I think a fun puzzle, even with the spoiler popping up on the screen, because it's such a specific interaction that, yeah, it just won't work. Yeah, Knight seems to be the new default character. I mean to say that it's such a specific interaction that it looks like a lie. Number 4 is drunk. Nobody tell him. All right. Isn't it between the hunter and witness? One of them is drunk and the other witch. Hunter is completely sober there, always. And that's what made it so silly. Cool. Now we can play another hunter. No sense adding in a knight. I mean, should we throw in a knight just so that way the evils have a disguise? Maybe. But another hunter is an option. Gemcrafter and knight are also options. This will be our first knight. Knight because it's bad. Knight could be good in a Lilith village. The evils need this. Yeah, knight is just the least amount of information possible. So if you are voting for the worst card, the hardest card, knight is it. Hunter could also be tricky because it's a double claim, though it seems like double claims are helpful. Though, wait, no, that was a scenario where the double claim actually really, really worked in a fun way because I saw 2 confessors and I totally glazed over it. And no, we actually had 1 real confessor and 1 fake confessor. And got to see a really fun confessor puzzle that I probably wouldn't have otherwise seen because I don't draft confessors that often. But that was definitely fun. So I'm glad to have Twitch chat in here influencing us a little bit. And where should that influence bring us? Here. We've got 2 votes for knight. 1 vote for hunter and gemcrafter each. You can change your vote. Just let me know you're changing your vote and I'll process that as well. If you want to do like ranked choice voting, gemcrafter, 2 votes gemcrafter. So Jason, if you want to defect from hunter, it doesn't seem like the hunters have it. You can be the deciding factor. Gemcrafter it is. Fortune teller, oracle, or heal, or skip. Now you can. I'll just heal. And now we can go Wretch. Oh yeah, here's a Wretch. But you said Wretch so early that it sounded like you were voting for Wretch, for me to draft the Wretch. But there is a Wretch in this puzzle, which I think is just coincidence. But Shaman Puppeteer. Okay. This can never be the puppet either. Wretch. Okay. I'm going to go here. Don't love that. This can never see anything. Puppeteer. Shaman. Okay. 1 away from closest evil. So either Puppeteer, Puppet, or Puppet, Puppeteer. Are those the only possibilities? I believe so. Yeah. Yep, we've got the solve. This is... Oh, Puppet, Puppeteer. Bummer. Dang, okay, we made a mistake. My bad. I thought I had it. Just didn't consider that as a possibility for no reason. Jester, Judge, and Empress. We already have a Judge, maybe? Oh, we do definitely already have a Judge. Jester, Judge, and Empress, we already... Oh, we already have a Jester, too. Okay, so Jester or Judge as a double claim. That was a not in play moment from the Shaman. What did the shaman claim? I totally forget. I think I deduced it logically, though, not because of a not in play moment. I don't remember, though. We've got a double jester, a double judge, or an empress. Jest is best, is what people are claiming. I don't know if this changes your mind, especially, Amber, if you are not wanting me to pick the best card. The final village is Lilith, so activate cards are going to be OP. But looks like the jesters are having it. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 votes for jester. All right, the jesters have it. Maybe that's the new thumbnail. And now we could go, jester is silly. Interesting that people think the jester is silly. We could remove a card. Slayer, fortune teller, or skip. This is going to be a tough vote. Remove. 1 vote for remove. I'm not sure what you're eyeing up for the removal here. Yeah, if Wretch could be disguised as... I understand why it can't be. I think it would require a slight change for how the Wretch is processed. I do think it's actually possible, though. Looks like we've got 2 votes for remove a card and 1 vote for skip. So the problem with the Wretch, if you could disguise as the Wretch, then the Wretch would not have any information. So it would look the same as a Wretch. Either way, like there's no lies. And then if you were to select it with a card, like say you say, the fortune teller on the Wretch, either way you're going to learn evil. So it doesn't, you can't, there's very few things that could discern between it. And it gets additionally complicated because the Wretch doesn't just register as evil. It can't be disguised as because it's a minion, yes. I don't know what you're talking about. The Wretch is a minion, for sure. But that's how I see it. But yeah, you would need either like some cards that could point at the Wretch and see it as a Wretch. I actually think that that's totally reasonable. What if the Oracle looked at a Wretch and saw it as a Wretch and just said 1 or 4 is a Wretch? I think that that would be totally fine and basically brings you to the same game as it does now. The only difference is how that would potentially function in Lilith villages when Lilith kills the Wretch. That would those have some interesting texture to them right now, whereas they don't otherwise. That's 3 votes for skip. I'm going to skip. I also think that the Druid should possibly just be able to look at a Wretch and see that it's a Wretch. I don't think that that's better or worse one way versus the other, but your mileage may vary, of course. Poisoner, Witch, Lilith. This looks like a fun one. Now, because this is 10, we can have Lilith kill one of the members of the evil team. So that will definitely be on my radar. Let's just randomly judge check number 2. I shouldn't check neighbors because this could be corrupted by a poisoner. But I'm going to flip 2. Left side more evil. Okay, I'm going to keep flipping in order. 3. Well, at this point, we've done it. 0 evils. Okay, I think we're running hot. I think we're flipping over villagers only. 1 or 8 is the poisoner. Now, am I crazy? Or did that deal a weird amount of damage to me? Am I crazy, or did Lilith just kill the drunk? I think Lilith just killed the drunk. Yeah, she did. Any chance she killed the drunk knight? No, that wouldn't be a relevant thing. Okay. Let's see if this is telling the truth. Oh, it is telling the truth. Oh, I don't like that now. I'm almost confident that Lilith just killed, and don't spoil it for me. Don't rewind and tell me. But I think that this is now evil. I'm not going to look at chat. And I think that means that this is right. Which means this is not telling the truth either. And maybe this also isn't telling the truth. I now have a bad feeling that this is my evil team. We're going to get some more information before we activate this. 1 or 8 is the poisoner. That's our doppelganger. This is the dang poisoner. This could be poisoned. That makes this evil. That's my current theory, because I do believe this is the drunk. 1 or 8 is a witch. Hold on a second. We don't have an oracle, do we? I think I just solved the puzzle. This wasn't the drunk. Or it's the drunk confessor. This is telling the truth. But I swear it was the drunk. Oh, Lilith deals 2 damage to you at night. I just forgot the mechanics of the game. To be fair, I've been playing a lot of deck building mode recently, which doesn't have demons in it, but I think this is the first time I've seen Lilith in the final village in this new era of deck building mode since the release of the Rambler. This is just good. It's not the drunk. The drunk is one of these. 1 and 8 are both good. We can flip 8. It's good. 4 was affected by an evil. Huh. What if this is the drunk? There are 3 evils. Yeah, I mean, that seems right to me. How could 4 be affected by an evil otherwise? I don't know. Maybe you're the drunk, buddy. So, no chance Lilith can kill one of the members of the evil team. It will just kill number 10. 9 or 8 is a witch. Hold on. Doesn't that mean... Wait. What? Oh, now I'm confused. Okay, so this jester said 4, 6, 7. But what is this talking about? We do have a... Oh, this is poisoned. But no, then this oracle would be... That almost worked if this was the poisoner and this was poisoned. But an oracle that points at itself... Doesn't an oracle that points at itself have to be good and pointing at a good? No, but it has to be good. Well, this can't be a witch and a poisoner. This could be corrupted. Oh. Wait, no. Drunk, corrupted. This works. This works. It's this. It's drunk, corrupted. 3 is telling the truth. Yeah. It's 4, 6, 7. The left side is more evil. This is our drunk. This is the poisoner corrupted. This is the poisoner. One of these 2 is Lilith. The other one's the witch. And we can double check all of this with Oracle plus the other 2, and there's 0 evils. This is the poisoner. That much I know. We'll say this is our witch. No, that's Lilith, meaning this is our witch, and that is... We have 4 oracles and 11 health. Get stabbing. Yeah, but I wanted to solve the puzzle as much as I could before flipping them over. That is going to finish off for me for this video and live stream. Thank you all very much for watching and hanging out and chatting for some live Demon Bluff. This was always something that I wanted to do, and now I've done it. I could certainly see doing it again in the future, so make sure you're subscribed if you want to catch this live. And I also made like a post on YouTube Posts, I think it's just called, earlier today to let people know that I might be doing this later, so pay attention for those. And that's going to be it. Thank you all very much for watching. I'm No Lux Given. Peace. Peace. Thank you all very much for hanging out.